Good evening, good afternoon if you're in the US, and welcome to all time zones because we have the Three Checks World Champion. Oh, I guess we're not calling it the World Championship. The Three Checks Chess.com Championship. It is the premier place for people to showcase their three checks skills, and we're going to do some commentary on this. I'm Jon Ludwig Hammer, and I'm joined by Benjamin Bock. And Benjamin, what are your expectations for today's event?
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun event. I mean, we have a fun variant ahead of us. And Jon Ludwig, it's probably the variant that is closest to chess, right? It's basically chess you can win through checkmate, but also if you win three checks.
Three checks wins the game, and this is the format we're going to be having. 8 players have qualified, and they are the 8 best players that we can find on the Chess.com server. It's a double elimination bracket, which means even if you lose the first one, you still have your chance to make it all the way. 4 games per match. And the time control is 3+0. These are our players, and we have the reigning champion, Matvey Rogov, in the middle of the pack. Can you tell us anything about what to expect from these players, Benjamin?
Yeah, these are absolute specialists. As we can see, unfortunately, no GMs, but we have 2 IMs and 2 FMs as well. At the top of the table, we see Vasilios Kasiumis. He's also really a 3-check expert, so definitely expect some good stuff from him. Also, Toivo and IM, also expect something from him. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think really anyone in this field can win.
Yeah, the GMs knocked out in the qualifiers, but we make our comeback. As the commentators, this is the bracket that we have. The Greek playing the German, which means the winner of qualifier 1 against winner of qualifier 8. The reigning champion Rogov goes up against Josef Taher, who is a regular in these community variants events. Well, as is basically a lot of people here, Benjamin.
Yeah, no, all of these are regulars. We see Josef a lot in these events. Toivo is also often there. I think Patrick, also really a variance expert. And Vasilios Kasiumis, definitely an expert as well. So no strangers to this variant.
And I think one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is that we're going to take chess commentary back to the 1980s. Because these players are the best at what they do. They are really, really good at the 3 checks format. 3 checks and you win the game. But we don't have an eval bar for today's broadcast, which means, Benjamin, we're basically going to watch people who are better than us at the game not being able to say like, ooh, that's a huge blunder, you dum-dum, because we're going to be kind of guessing the best we can.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot harder today. Like I said, no evil bar, no engine, so I'll actually have to think while commentating. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a really fun variant. I mean, it has a lot of calculation involved. Not only do you have to calculate attacks like normally, but if you get to that 3rd check, you also win the game. So. But there's only 3 minutes. They will have to keep up the pace, right? You cannot invest all your time trying to find that 3rd check, and then if you don't find it, you're probably just gonna lose the game. That's fine.
This is what's at stake. $750 for the first prize, but also the honor of calling yourself the best 3 checks player, which I think is equally important to these guys. We're getting ready to kick off the games, and which match are you gonna put us into first, Benjamin?
Yeah, I'm excited for the match between the one between Vasquez. I think that one is going to be exciting. I think he's definitely an expert in 3 checks. So I'm really curious to see, Ludwig, what the players will do with black. With white, almost everybody will play 1 e4 followed by knight c3. That is definitely considered to be the top tier opener. But with black, I mean, to be fair, white is considered to have a massive advantage. So, they're probably going to try to deviate from the standard three-check theory, try to come up with their own theory. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they will come up with. And also, it will be interesting to see if they will switch it up as they progress throughout the tournament. Right? You cannot consistently keep playing the same opening, especially if your opponents have time to prepare for it.
Yeah, and I actually did the commentary on the three checks last year, and I went out for the first before the first move was played, and I was like, "Oh, white is gonna win basically every game. This is gonna be like a huge thing that we see." And I was so wrong. The players with the black pieces are so inventive; they're causing unfamiliar problems, and they were able to win quite a few games in the last year's championship, including, I believe, the decider for the entire thing, which, as mentioned, the reigning champion Rogov, he is here to defend his title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting factor. Like we said, white generally has a big advantage. So it will kind of be like tennis. You have to win your white games, and it will be all about whether you can break with black, right? If you can do that, then you'll have great chances to win the match. And I believe, are we off already? I think not. Okay, I think we might have a first game here between Statham and Joseph. So like
This
I
is
said, we
the
see a lot of
reigning
e4 followed by knight c3.
Yeah, the reigning champion with the
Mm-hmm.
white pieces playing against Josef, who was no slouch in last year's championship either. Josef was third and will want to avenge that.
Yep. So we see white getting a big center. In three check, it's all about getting an attack, right? Because then you can easily give checks. So that's why white is doing pretty well here because they have the big center, but now black grabbing their fair share of space as well with the move d5. And Jon Ludwig, how would you respond here? Would you okay, knight g? Wow, he is going for it, eh?
Yeah, no, there's no finesse in this. He is getting ready to sacrifice against the black king, and frankly, if the black king castles, then you sacrifice to the right. No matter what the black king does, you're gonna be able to sacrifice and force it into the open.
Yeah, I think black cannot allow the sacrifice because white will get at least one, maybe two checks. I think now still taking is very tempting. Take, you get a check on f3. You should be able to get some follow-up checks as well. So I think Statham, I said, was going to go for it, but he does not.
Ooh.
No,
But
can
this
black
might be a
counter?
mistake. Now
Yeah,
there's
wait. What happened there?
possibilities. Big mistake
Looks like a
trying to
massive
get the
mistake.
checks in a better circumstance, but now black is threatening a check by capturing the white knight. But if the black bishop is captured, there's a problem with the white aggressive knight. I mean, this might
Yeah,
have
this looks like
turned
a
it all
massive
around.
mistake by Statham. Yeah, I think so. I don't know why he didn't play knight takes f7. You would have gotten one check at least on f3. And now, I think you probably have to take that bishop. Black will take on g5. The black king is going to be perfectly safe from checks. And I think black will be in a perfect position to start giving a few checks here or there.
I think that might have just be the game right there. Okay, queen up. That's very clever. No checks from black against the white king. And there's still some potential of making sacrifices against black's king next. It will be very interesting to see. Okay, he actually gives up the bishop. Do you have an opinion on, ooh, it's a fork, but it's a queen sacrifice? Cannot take the queen because
Taking
that
that
would
is
have been a lot
risky.
of
All right, so
checks.
yeah, so there we see some really interesting stuff that really applies to three check. In normal chess, you would take the queen without a thought, but in three check, there would have been one check if you were captured with the knight. There's already the second check, and white would have gone the third check as well. So that's why black castled, keeping the fork, queen e1. All right, what now? If you take, you hang your queen. I don't think that's good. Ooh, that looks dangerous.
I was going to say, I like the queen sacrifice. It would be very, very exciting. But yeah, no, the queen is a powerful piece. It is very good at giving checks. And now the queen will be able to capture an important pawn in the center.
Mm-hmm. Yep, queen takes e5 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, queen a2 White could not have allowed that. Then black gets just way too many checks. Bishop d2. It's, by the way, still even in terms of checks, but I feel like black is a little bit better positioned to give the first couple checks in this position.
And 2 pawns up, are you going to ignore that?
I mean, that's something, but not a super big factor, I'd say, in 3 check.
Wow. I mean, but also it's considering which 2 pawns it is. I do like that controlling the center could kind of make sure that your opponent doesn't have that many options with their pieces. I really don't like this decision to avoid the queen trade. Now it feels as though, oh, is it over?
Okay, king b1. Oh, wow,
my
look
God,
at that.
so
He's
good.
hitting the queen. If you take...
Yeah, he's just
Okay,
getting
king
the queen
b2
back.
only move.
Yeah, but he's getting the queen back.
Okay. Right,
So
he can also
managed
go
to
knight
get-
a1, but okay, he takes.
Yeah, well, yeah, he could.
I think you take with the
knight A1,
rook.
he
Take
escapes
with the bishop,
the
knight e5
checks,
looks too
right?
dangerous.
Wow, that
Right.
was
But I feel like in the
high
long
level.
term, white, it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, no, really. But I think in the long term, it's going to be really difficult for white to avoid that third check. But
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's basically game
E5.
over. You get 2 checks for only the cost of a knight. That's huge. The fact that he did all of this
Yeah.
just with the intention to not get the third check, but get a trick where you get the queen afterwards, that was so classy.
Right, bishop b4. Okay, d3 threatening the third check. Okay, takes. But they're also getting super long time. I don't think white's surviving this. Rook b... Yeah, rook b8.
No chance.
Okay, that's just 1 check, but... Yeah, it's going to be too difficult for white to get 2 checks, and he has no time.
At the very least, he's going to lose his bishop now. The bishop cannot move without allowing the black rook a check.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we see Josef taking the first game with black. And Hammer, I think we called it. I think that decision not to sacrifice an f7 really turned the game around.
Yeah, and the thing about white winning all the games, not true whatsoever. There will always be some kind of a trick. And speaking of tricks, that was pretty straightforward. A third check from Toivo from Finland gets him the win in this first match. Okay, we're back to the big matchup between
so here
the
we see the
reigning
second
champion.
game between Josef.
I'm happy
They
to
actually had the
so,
same
yeah.
opening as the first game, but... Right, but Josef switched it up with an early e5 instead of a3. That was played earlier by Stadham. Now let's see what he's going to do. Maybe bishop c5, trying to sack here, but I guess knight e4 is going to be played.
So how much has Black given up? Nothing? And he's already threatening a check?
Yeah, but I think knight e4 or d4. What do we think about that?
I mean, I was going to blunder something anyway. I was going to say that Black might want to try knight to d4 anyway. But that's not going to work out.
Right, Josef taking his time. Can he goes d4?
Wow.
Really setting the board on fire.
So he's exploiting the fact that the black knight inside white's half is undefended. So if captures in the middle happen, but then the bishop is going to get a check, right? Ooh, or the knight is going to
Right, so I think now what... Yeah, but I think it's not a big deal. Like, okay, this is going to be really interesting. So the critical line is takes. What black should take, king d1, I assume. So black is up a check. But if you take an a1, white's going to take here. Oh, he goes knight e3, giving the second check. But can he get the third check?
I mean, I don't see it. But maybe you just castle and pretend as nothing is going on. I mean, if you're from a bad situation as black anyway, you might as well be happy that you're 1 check away, 1 trick away from winning the game.
No, absolutely. Right. I mean, White's going to have to be super careful. Like I said, it's just one check. So even if you're lost, your opponent can always blunder. But I think objectively, I like White's chances here. I think it's going to be really difficult for Black to get that third check in.
I agree. I think one of the biggest mistakes people do when they start trying out three checks is that they think the checks are more valuable than they really are, and it's very easy to sacrifice too much.
Right. So, okay, Queen takes G7 makes a lot of sense here. Then I guess Rook F8. And the follow-up is not clear to me there for White. But a B5, I like that move, threatening B4.
Yeah, great move. Also threatening to get the bishop out. The king is on a light square.
Yeah. Okay, Rook F8. Queen F6, offering the queen trade. I think Black should take, because otherwise White will take with check, and that will be the end of the game.
Yeah, but really good decision to trade the queens. Way more difficult for Black to get those checks they need now.
Yeah. King D2, clever move, stepping off a light square. But if
Rook
White
on the
has...
open
Does
file
White have,
now. Just Black needs to get the rook into play. Rook G8.
yeah, that seems like a clever move. A6 to defend that pawn. All right, so I think what we're seeing here, Jan Ludwig, is that the white king, it has a 1 on it. I think what that means is that Black needs one more check on that king, whereas the black king has a 3 on it. That means White needs 3 more checks on the black king, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Black might win another. I genuinely think Black is not too far away from getting that third check. At the very least, it's going to be difficult keeping everything under control as the time scramble comes in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, like in a normal time scramble, you just switch off your brain and you start moving quickly. But in 3 check, like you said, if you allow one more check, that's the end of the game. So White's going to have to be super careful in that situation.
Well played so far, though, by Joseph, trying to open up in front of the Black King.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
That
threatening the
third
final
check.
check. But he got pre-moved away from that one.
All right, now taking with the bishop looks very dangerous as that allows this check.
Yeah,
And
but no, but it's still good. It's still good. Where's the third check? Ooh,
yeah, I don't
you
think
can
it's
pin the
there. But bishop,
rook.
right, and then your own rook is going to slide over and probably get the
Ah,
checks you need. Oh, 14
that's
seconds.
so
He's got to move.
clever. Yeah, I was thinking about how to get more checks, but your focus on trying to take the final attacking black piece was more prudent on that occasion.
Okay, check. King
Okay, I think he's
D7.
got it. Bishop up. That's the win.
Oh, and
It's
bishop
over.
E7. Yep.
Well executed. He gave up 2 checks early on, but he understood that the extra amount of pieces he had would compensate for that. And that's a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, no, that's a very typical situation in 3 check. I mean, generally, it's of course a massive advantage if you're up 2 checks, but it should not come at the cost of your entire position, right? Because as we saw, Statham was not able to get in that 3rd check, and Josef was able to convert his advantage on the board, so to speak, and eventually get the checks he needed.
Wow, I'm so fascinated by these openings because they look crazy. But the point you made earlier, Benjamin, is that you have to play something that your opponent is not ready for because of White's big advantage in the kind of normal openings.
Right, now here, there might be an interesting, it's probably too much, but you could consider maybe taking, sacrificing the other knight as well, and then at least you get a check. But I think it would be too much.
I really like what Josef is doing here. He's managed to actually take over control of the center of the board, which is very unusual with the black pieces.
All right, Queen E2. This is a big threat. I think we have to defend with. Do we play Queen E7? What do you think?
I think you castle. Okay, I'm
Bishop
crazy.
G5.
I thought maybe we could give away a check just to tuck the king in the corner and then open up in the center.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was good.
No, I actually like that idea. This feels a bit too passive for black. Let's see what Statham is going to do now. What do you think, queen side or king side?
Queenside.
Hmm. Right.
Maybe I'm naive, but
Yeah.
I feel like just get it away from, because the black bishop is pointing towards the right side of the board, right? So you'd rather have the king on the opposite.
Ooh, he takes. Okay, so
That
if queen takes, I assume he's aiming to jump in.
controversial decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I know you're a big fan of the bishop pair, right?
Okay, now black has a check. This is interesting.
Okay.
Okay, white gets two checks in return. Oh,
Oh, here's the
what's
thing.
he
I think
doing? Queen
taking.
takes. No. Oh, he
Uh,
needs three checks. Never mind.
right, but I feel like white should be winning on the board here. I think Joseph did not recapture because bishop b5, and white gets a lot of checks. But to me, this looks winning for white. I feel like black only has one check. It's going to be very difficult to get the two remaining checks in, and white's position is just so dominant on the board that I feel like white should be able to get the checks in
And the
they need
fact that
eventually.
white goes for the queen trade, I think, is a very good example of this domination you talk about.
Hmm. All right, c5, trying to open up that diagonal for his bishop.
Yeah, no, I'm convinced this is going to be a win for white. Although
Hmm.
that was a good move with the pawn push because it prevents the white rook from stepping up on the third rank and try and involve itself against the black king.
Oh, by the way, white is starting to win the game. This would be 1, 2, and you will get a third check. If the king goes back, knight, yeah, so that's why that was played. But let's say, yeah, bishop d3, and white's just having a massive attack for only one check.
Yeah, and you can't move the king because then the bishop comes in. He just gives up.
Yep, yep. Yeah, so here, classic example that we talked about earlier. Black's up a check, but their white's position is so dominant that white is just completely winning. And Statham brings it back to 2-1. He now needs to win with the black pieces to take this to overtime.
It's a very, very difficult task, but he is the reigning champ. He is capable of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here white has the bishop at h6, typical move, stopping bishop g5, but perhaps more important, stopping knight g5, b6. Now black going for bishop b7. But the question is, Jan Ludwig, how do you get out of the center here with black? Because eventually, maybe knight g6, queen e7, and then this. But I think you don't want to rush that, as you might run into bishop a6.
Ooh, I think if you manage to castle, that would be a huge success. I think this has been a great start for Rogov, who needs to win this game with the black pieces to equalize the match. But he got his king to safety, which is such a rare thing to manage in as black in three checks.
Yep. No, he's doing pretty well. King b8, important move in normal chess. It might seem like you're losing in tempo, but in 3-check, it's a big advantage. It's a big difference whether you recapture the king from b8 or from c8, because if you would recapture from c8, that would have been a check.
I mean, I think this is looking pretty good for Rogov with the black pieces here. Is he not about to take a pawn?
I was about to ask you, yeah, how greedy are we feeling here? Can you? I don't think you take with the c knight, as then you allow a check, but I think you allow. Although, wait, if
Yeah,
you take with this knight, maybe take
then bishop
and knight
takes, yeah.
b6. But maybe you can recapture the queen.
But then you sacrifice the queen, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, rook takes. To me, this seems perhaps a little bit better for Joseph, right? A little bit more space, perhaps a little bit easier. I would go queen c6. It seems like white. It would be easier for white to get the checks in.
Yeah, white is threatening a check right now, so he needs to protect against that. We have our first two winners in these winner bracket quarterfinals. It's Kaziumis wins 3-0. What a knockout. What a performance from him. And also winning 3-1 is Sar, a variant specialist from Hungary. So huge from them. And Kainanen and Rahimpour goes to an extra game to decide the winner there. We'll watch the rest of this game and then go to that exciting overtime.
Yep. Yeah, really a statement win from Vasilios. Winning 3-0, he says like, hey, I'm not here to mess around. I'm here to win. All right, he's really a 3-check expert. So it'll be interesting to see if somebody can stop him. Queen a6 by Josef. All right, I don't think this is a threat just yet. I mean, it would be one. Oh, no, wait, actually it is.
Definitely
Wait, one,
is.
two. Yeah, it is. Wait.
I can count to three. That is a threat.
Yeah.
And it's not that easy to counter because if you move your knight, the queen is getting trapped.
Right, but then maybe Queen a5. I think you might have to do something like that. Because Queen a5 right away, I don't quite like, as then your king will be exposed.
It is looking very likely that the reigning champ will get defeated here in the first game. Match, I mean.
Queen a5, only move, I think. All right, an endgame. But Josef up massive amounts of time. And Josef is really fast. He's definitely going for the flag here. King c8.
Wow, is that a strategy? I'm so surprised at their willingness to go into endgames.
Right, but perhaps Josef knows with the queens off the board, it's going to be really difficult for Black to ever get any checks in. He just needs to, drag out the game, survive, and he's just going to flag him. I think that's it. That's a strategy here.
The Black Knight is jumping around. May want to move that rook to prevent the Black Knight from jumping forward. Not a huge fan of this setup with the bishop and pawn. Now Black can push the pawns on the queen side. This is a chess game now, and strategically, Black has the much superior position now.
Yep, but he's got 24 seconds.
We're playing the 3 checks championship. 3 checks and you win the game. But here we are in an endgame with no checks for either players.
Yeah, but the knight is tricky. The knight can jump around. For Black, it should be pretty easy to navigate. Just keep that king on a light square and you'll be safe.
Yeah, I'm not liking Josef's approach to this, but he might take it on time. He keeps the rooks on the board. Interesting.
All right, Black giving up a pawn, but going for a check. I think Josef is gonna stop that.
I think Rogov is making it happen. I think he's going to win this, actually, to tie the match.
Ooh, this looks really dangerous for Josef.
16 seconds left, but it's so much closer on time now than it was earlier. Although there he gave away the knight. Oh, the knight is not captured. Oh! Huge mistake. And it's over.
He blundered.
He should have taken the knight. And instead, the knight gets to move back and forth, 4-2 checks, and the rook decides it. And the reigning champ equalizes with the black pieces to take it into overtime.
Wow, I really thought Josef was going to take that one with the massive time advantage, and I really think he should have taken the knight there. Because Black would get 1 check, but I don't think a 2nd or 3rd check just yet, right?
And we miss out on the overtime in the Kainanen match. The Finnish international master has won that one. And now we're going to see the final game of the Rogov versus Taher matchup.
Yep. No, I think for White, it was just really tricky to navigate, right? I mean, knights jump around. They can always give checks. That bishop on h4, on the other hand, so easy to control, right? Like we said, just keep the king on a light square and you'll always be safe.
Strategically outplayed in one of the most tactically advanced variants of chess. Consider me very, very impressed.
Wait, we've had this before in the very first game, but we thought White had a massive advantage here. Josef went here. I think he's got to go for it. Just knight takes f7. You throw in a check, and I think you have good chances to get the follow-up checks, right?
I'm so curious whether the players have friends who are acting as helpers during this kind of world championship tournament. Because if they can get feedback on how they should improve on their openings compared to previous games, that would be so huge.
There's got to be something here for Statham, right? I mean, knight takes h7 or queen h5, both look pretty tempting. Okay, takes the knight first, and then I think you just go for it, right?
I'm kind of surprised Rogov with the white pieces went into this, considering that this is the opening he lost with earlier in the match.
Right. But I mean, I also like it, if people lose a game, they might think like, okay, I lost a game, but it definitely was not because of the opening. And he's confident that he can prove later on. What do you think here? Do we sacrifice? I mean, you get one check. You can get the second check, but that third check is not available just yet.
I don't like it. I think this opening is looking pretty good for black. In fact, I think Rogov here with the white pieces is going to start playing this opening as black potentially.
I'm really surprised that he's playing it this way, because he could have taken a bite out of black's kingside, get that check, and pretty much get a very similar position. But now he does not have any checks, and the black king is kind of safe for now.
I'm so confused that black didn't take the knight when given the option to. But I guess they're scared of the pawn in front of the rook advancing to try and get the rook into the game.
All right, knight e2, white regrouping his forces to try to start some sort of attack on the black king. But I think at least for now, black is kind of safe, right?
The black bishop on b6 is awful right now.
It is. It's not doing much.
So white is kind of giving away a knight on the opposite flank with the argument that, okay, I'm down a knight or a bishop, but look at your bishop, it's not doing anything.
Right, and white is having the attacking chances on the king side, right? Maybe queen takes g5, knight h5, and there he goes.
Very important now for white to chase the black queen away. You should chase the queen away from the diagonal so that the queen is unable to get back to help defend the king.
Absolutely. Yeah, now that f5 square is key. I think you said it perfectly. You want to play a move like rook c1 first, push the queen away, and only then a move like knight h5. I mean, I think if you get knight h5 in and then knight f6, you just get such a massive attack. Like you're almost winning there in normal chess, right?
I think Josef needs to push his pawn and recapture with a pawn simply to kind of push the white queen away and enable himself to get his own queen back.
But that looks so dangerous. Take queen h6.
And
I think recapture with the rook. He's going to take with the rook. Oh, he does go for it. Okay, queen h6 though.
Yeah, so now the ability is that he gets to move his knight, which in turn enables him to get the queen back.
Right, okay.
But maybe something like queen g7 decides? No. Yes.
No, because you get...
Yes.
Oh, knight f5. Oh, and king h8 and then...
And then bishop.
Oh, wait, but king h7? But king h7.
I don't have anything there.
I mean, you have two checks, but getting that third check is going to be difficult. He's definitely looking at it. This is a moment where you can easily get stuck, spend too much time, and then, knight h5. Okay, queen g6, I think, has to be played.
For sure. Yep. And then he gets two checks.
Right, but not the third check. I mean, one, but takes with the queen. Okay, gets a check. This should be good for white.
Ooh, he gets the rook in.
Rook f3 is huge.
Ooh, no, but the king placement is actually pretty good for black. There's no easy checks now.
Yeah.
Both players down to 30 seconds.
Right, but Josef up 10 seconds. a5. I like a5 here, if you can somehow get that. Oh, wow, what is that? Wait. Oh.
I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, white's one check away, and this knight is jumping around.
Yeah, but now doubling the rooks against white's king.
Oh, g3 does not help you here. It's one.
Then the sacrifices just start.
3. Yeah, in 6 seconds,
He,
Josef's gonna win. He's got no time. Josef's gonna win. Yeah,
he
that's
needs
it.
to push the king into the corner. He's out of time. Wow, two black wins, three black wins in the match as a whole. That went down to the wire.
It really did, and you called it, Jon Ludwig. We saw like white has a massive advantage, and you're like, well, black also wins a lot of games in this variant, and we saw that right here. Josef, he persevered and wins the match, but now he's up against Vasilios.
Very, very impressive from him. Toivo Kainanen takes on Patrick Saar in the other winner bracket semi-final. In the losers bracket, we have the players who lost the first match but now needs to strike back. It's the German against the reigning champ Rogov, and it's Rahim Pour against Nikolaus.
Yep, no, that's gonna be exciting. So which match are you looking forward to the most? Vasquez against Taher or Toivo against Patrick?
I'm not sure. There's like a philosophy amongst commentators on this kind of thing. Do you watch the loser bracket because you're losing one of those guys? Or do you watch the winner bracket even though they still have a chance if they end up losing? I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think we should watch Rahim Pour.
Uh-huh. Right, because we could lose him right here.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, we'll just have a look around the horn. We'll try to keep track of as many matches as possible. I mean, it will also be interesting to see how the players fare. I am actually really curious to see how Vasquez will do. He crushed the first round, 3-0. We saw Josef winning 3-2 was a lot closer. I think that's going to be an interesting match as well. Anyway, we are off, and here we have Nikolaski against Rahimpour. All right, so they are down to their last life. It's double elimination. You can lose one match, but you cannot lose a second one.
Okay, and we see once again the black players keep going after this bishop versus knight trade, and we saw how well it worked out in that fourth game where the white dark squared bishop became a spectator to the entire proceedings.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so we've seen that a lot of bishop e4s get met with an early a3. Then black has to make a decision. Will they take? Allow white to recapture with the d pawn, and that will make it easy for white to get the dark squared bishop out, or drop back, but that usually gives white the full center. We see Nikolaus, by the way, taking quite a bit of time here, Yoon. I mean, that can be a bit risky, no?
Yeah, for sure. We just saw a white player lose on time in a tricky position. If black survives the opening, having the time advantage can be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, no, you definitely want to use your time in the critical moments where you think like, hey, maybe here I can build up that decisive attack. Right now, it seems a little bit too early, to be honest, to go down almost a minute on the clock. But maybe knight g5 is what he's looking at.
It must be, because what else could he be spending all this time on? This is not a critical moment.
Oh, I think he might have disconnected.
Okay, let's jump to the match you were talking about with Josef.
Yep. All right, let's go to that one. And we have that right here. Josef playing with the black pieces against Vasquez. All right, this looks interesting.
He does not care about pawns in front of his king. Wow. He's just pushing them forward. He knows with the black pieces, you're at a disadvantage from the start, and attack is the best defense.
Yeah, but this looks pretty dangerous. Okay, queen of one, but really shifting all of his pieces over to that side of the board. I don't think black can survive this in the long term with queen h3 coming. I mean, I don't see... Oh, he just resigned.
Never mind.
Wow. I mean,
let's catch some of the Kainan in action.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Let's see.
Oh, I'm making you work today. My bad.
All right. Well, we can also just stick with this game for now, or... Oh, by the way, this is standard theory in 3 check. So what white is going for... Wait, knight f6. Wow, black giving up a full piece. I think you recapture like this. Ah. But at least black is getting the full center.
I am so confused. This is a real thing?
Yes. No, it is a line. I mean, it's very typical for white to go for a quick e5 and knight b5 to d6. Usually it comes at the cost of a pawn, but you get a check, right? So he gives up a full knight here, but I don't know. I mean, black has that massive center. I actually quite like black's chances here. I think you go bishop d7, queenside castles, you're safe, and then you can start attacking with your center and with the open files that you have.
It's very reminiscent of something we talked about earlier, right? That some people are too eager to give up material to get only one check. To be fair, here, white has not given up any material, but the central control black has is worth more than a knight anyway.
Right. But still, he gave up a full... Like, he was up a knight and then just gave it back. I still kind of like Toivo's chance here. I think you go queenside castles, your king is going to be safe. You go rook g8. And how do you get to that king on c8? I honestly don't see it.
Yeah, I'm loving black's position. And yeah, in a game where it's supposed to be very, very bad having the black pieces, we're seeing some very impressive fighting here in the first minutes of this championship.
Yeah, Toivo, a really creative player. Rook g8, all according to plan. g3, very typical. You cannot allow rook takes g2 because that'll be one check, and then easily like a second one and a third one. But I don't know.
He's already
h5
threatening 3 checks. He was already threatening to sacrifice in against the white king. White is playing without the rook, bishop, and queen on the far side of the board. This is such an impressive concept in the opening from Kainanen.
Yeah, this looks great for Toivo. Do we go e4 here, or I guess bishop h3 would threaten to win the game, but there's still rook g1.
Okay, white tries to strike on the left side. Black continues pushing forward in the center. Yeah, he's kind of the white king is really just barely hanging in there.
Right, but now maybe... Oh, he's setting up bishop c6, and then he would love to push those pawns. I think that's what he's going to do now. Bishop c6, although that is one check. Okay.
I'm not sure I like this move.
I mean, I do. I mean, you're threatening to sack, and what does white do here?
I mean, white is going to push forward in the center, right? Pawn to d4, I would guess.
Right, but take on h2, you cannot
Bishop
capture
f4.
that. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I like... Okay, rook b1. I think he's trying to do this. Rook takes b7. That's his... Or this.
And then c6. Rook takes b7 followed by c6.
Oh, right, because queen takes, you get a check, and then your queen comes in and you will get a third check for sure. Okay, Toivo equalizing the checks here, but he's threatening to win the game. Rook takes g1, followed by this, and taking... No, you cannot take. I think he's winning here.
Yeah, it's over.
Right.
Okay, I mean, mea culpa. That knight move up into the attack, that was much more dangerous than I gave it credit for.
Yeah. Patrick now also below 30 seconds. I don't think he's surviving this. Toivo is only 2 checks away. Like we said, rook takes g1, followed by queen takes h2, wins the game. And if you take, the queen comes in, and for sure you will get 2 checks.
It's over. He's down to 15 seconds. He knows he cannot find a defense. He's desperate, searching for something, but there's nothing. And Kainanen will take a 2-0 lead in this match.
All right, so great game by Toivo with the black pieces. And yeah, it really comes down. I think here's the thing. White objectively has an advantage, but since white's first 2 moves, e4 and knight c3 are so predictable, black can really tailor their preparation towards that, right? Like, it's very clear what white's going to do, but it's also clear what black is going to do.
Black has an extra queen.
Yeah.
It's over.
That looks like a good move. But white's only one check away. I mean, oh, he just
He
resigns.
just gives up.
All right.
Nicely done. Another black win. And that was actually, was that a 2-0
Oh,
lead?
it might be, but Jon Ludwig, we have that same line. Toivo played knight f6. We see knight h6 by Josef. So at least he's aiming to be knight e6, I guess, with knight takes. Wow, some theory here by Vasquez.
They're playing so quickly, but that is just a sign that they know all of this from before. White is really giving up a lot of pawns, but getting all their pieces into the attack. This does not seem like healthy play from the black player.
All right, so we see Vasquez up a check. Knight g5 is a very typical pattern here. Looks good to me. I think you go, yeah, knight g5. I think you just go for it. You already have one check. You just need two more. So I
It's
think knight
funny if
g5
you
has
go
to be
with the
played.
knight and you allow black to get a new queen in the corner, you still win with the checks.
I think so, yeah. I think here you just go for it. You go knight g5. If h6, you come in. If they take, that's one, and you will get the third check as well. So I think you just go for it. Just knight g5. Wait, why does he not play it? I'm not as good as these guys, but according to my knowledge, you just go for it, right? Knight g5.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, this long think is making me wonder, should we check in with Markert before we have to say goodbye? In the loser bracket, reigning champion Rogov already has a 2-0 lead. He only needs a win here with the white pieces to send our first contestant out of the tournament. The German Markert is under heavy pressure here as well.
Yeah, I like Statham's position on the board, but Black did get the first check. He's only two checks away from winning the game. But how do you actually get those checks, right? I mean, White has all the attacking possibilities with maybe e5, maybe in some cases knight h7. So I quite like Rogov's chance. And you said Rogov has a 2-0 lead, right?
Yeah. Kainanen, first player to the winner bracket final, 3-0. What a performance from him. We saw that game he won with the black pieces. It was so impressive. And he continued in style, winning both his white games as well.
Yeah, I think he really did some preparation for this event, right? That line that we saw in the Sicilian, right, where White goes for that early e5 and ib5 is kind of three-check theory, if you will. And that move knight f6 is something I have not seen before, so I'm sure that is something he has cooked up before the tournament.
You get all the three checks novelties in the three
Yep.
checks championship. But right now, it is looking like the German Markert is going to make his mark on this tournament after all, because right now I'm liking his chances. If he wins this one, he can strike back with a white win to take this match into overtime, even though it looks bleak with that 2-0 score right now.
Yeah, I feel like Statham has let it slip. He had a really dominant position before, but I think e5 was a key move by Markert, stopping e5 from White. That would push the queen away, open up the bishop. Now it seems like Black is safe, and he does just take the knight. He's like, prove it to me. And Ludwig, if we look at this position, it looks great for Black. No, I mean, he's up a check and up a knight.
And a pawn, I think. Although my counting might be iffy. It's actually equal on number of pawns. My bad. But the pawns were so weirdly placed that miscounting was possible. Ooh, I'm not sure I like putting that king on a dark square, though.
Yeah, that could be dangerous. Okay, so f4 played.
Okay, you
f6,
have
very
to go,
safe move.
Yeah, but now starts, bishop takes that pawn, and then you open up for the rooks. Ooh, this does not, I mean, considering he was up a knight and a check after the queens got traded off, it feels very unnecessary to land yourself into this issue.
Ooh, king f2 maybe? Or rook f... I think rook f3. Right, threatening check, and if you take king f2, looks pretty dangerous to me with a lot of checks coming in.
Yeah, king f2, I
e2.
like your move. Allowing a second check. Black is only one check away from winning the game, but there's a lot of checks coming in from the white rooks, and it may look as though I called it a bit too soon. The German is heading home after this game, even with the extra piece. He just struggled to get his queenside pieces into the game, and now the king
Yeah,
is stuck in dangerous territory.
yeah, the black king is just completely naked, and yeah, black needs one more check, but you don't get it. And with these two rooks coming in, it's an easy win for white. And there we see Statham winning the match.
One game still going on. It is the final one in the Rahimpur against Sklavonus, which that match was slightly delayed due to a disconnect, but I'm being informed it just finished with all four matches ending in only 3 games. How often do you see that? It's 3-0, 3-0 in the winner's bracket. And we also have the results coming in from the loser's bracket. Reigning champion Matvey, he gets that 3-0 win. And Rahimpur, my understanding is that he has decided his match as well, but waiting for final confirmation there.
I think he has a 2-0 lead, right? So he's only half a point away from winning the match. I mean, practically one win, because it's very unlikely that games end in draws. So let's see if he takes a BF. Vasquez and Toivo looking really strong so far. Toivo winning this match 3-0. Vasquez 3-0 in the first round, 3-0 in the semis.
And he's looking dominant so far. So one player with 2 3-0 wins. So let's bring that on the screen. Kainanen also with an impressive 3-0. Now we have Rahimpur winning his match, which means that we have 2 players eliminated so far. We'll take a quick break, get back with our updated brackets, and see you then. We're back with the Three Checks Championship, and apologies for some confusion there. There was a disconnection, some miscommunication, but the match between Rahimpour and Sklavunus is still going on, and it's 2-1 favor of the Iranian, Benjamin.
Yep. So Rahimpour has a 2-1 lead. That means that Nicolas has to win this game with the black pieces to force overtime. And what do we think of this position here, Jan Ludwig? I mean, the checks are equal. White has a lead in development, though, but he's down a pawn.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand. Where are all these pawns going? What's going on? Why is black doing so well? Well, I know because I did the commentary last year, right? But going into it, I was expecting white to just have a massive advantage in these games and really putting on the pressure. But we see time and time again, the black players are so resourceful.
They really are. Yeah, c3, tricky move by Raheem, bishop c5, okay. White for sure is looking at all these possibilities, like 1, 2, but you don't get that third check, so he does decide to take. I think black just recaptures. I think
I'm
that
not
knight
a
has to
fan
go.
of that move from black giving up the bishops like that.
Right, but that knight was pretty dangerous. That was a very dangerous attacking piece. And now I feel like the black king is kind of safe, because you can also always go f5 in case white goes for a move like bishop d3.
Yeah, white is going to need to get their pieces into play very, very quickly. Not sure about the trade in the center. I would have preferred immediately starting an attack on the black queen with some pawns on the queen side.
Right. And we see that white is down to a minute on the clock, down more than 40 seconds. I think if Nicolas just survives here, he has great chance to win the game.
And with that, equalize the match after being 2-0 down.
Yep. I don't like taking that pawn. I think now white should go for something like a rooklet, rook b4. You need to get your pieces. Like, to give 3 checks, you need to have the pieces to do so, right? And the rook is definitely a piece that's capable of giving checks. And there he goes. But it might be a little bit too late, right? I think d4. Yeah.
Just in time to prevent the rook from crossing the board.
Wow, what
now the
is
sacrifices
that?
start.
Right, but black declines it. I think black just wants to survive and flag him. And that's a very valid strategy, as white is down to 30 seconds. I think black is going to take this one.
If the white rook could somehow get across, there is a queen sack in the corner followed by a bishop check.
Mm-hmm. f4 maybe. You have to get your pieces in.
I like this rook move in from the side, but maybe I would have preferred your move first and then the rook trying to get across.
Right, 18 seconds for white. Again, all that Nicolas has to do is just survive here. Like, don't allow any checks, and he should win this game.
Well, there are 2 checks on the board right now, and the rook is coming across. Rook up in the center, next move, no matter what.
Oh, and then after you've played rook e4, you would threaten to win the game with 1, 2, 3.
He's giving up just a pawn in the center.
But 12 seconds for white. Just needs to survive.
There's got to be a trick here somehow. Maybe knight moves forward.
Right, maybe knight e3 or knight g3. Just confuse him. He's got to move here. Now he's getting a long time himself. He's got to move. He's got to move. Just move. Just move and flag him. He's freezing.
Big choke happening right now.
Bishop 4. Just move. Make a move. Make a move.
Any piece to any square would be better than losing on time.
Well, it's got 5 seconds. Just survive.
Wins a bishop, but he doesn't have enough time. The queen trade will prevent any kind of checks. Ooh, but he's doing the pre-moves well.
I think white's going to win.
White is winning on time. Who saw that coming?
What a turnaround. What a turnaround. I mean, it looked like black had a 1 on the clock, but he completely froze there.
Yeah, no, it's not over till it's over, and the pre-moves there from the Greek player. Oh no, I'm confusing it. Rahimpour was the one with the great pre-moves. He moves on to the next round. Nikolaos is out.
Yeah, it looked like Nicolas was in a great spot to force it to overtime, but he just froze, and Rahimpour was able to turn it around with those quick pre-moves.
Very good showcasing of the importance of, well, number one, watching your time, but also having the ability to just drop everything and start saying, okay, let's just make the best of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, really, I mean, unfortunate there for Nicolas, but Rahimpour moves on to the next round in the loser's bracket. We see the bracket here. We see Vasquez and Toivo facing off in the winner's final. Vasquez crushing it so far, winning both matches 3-0. Toivo also really impressive so far. His first round was a little bit closer. He won that in overtime, but then in the semis 3-0. And then in the losers bracket, Jon Ludwig, we have Patrick Sar against Rogov, and then Josef against Rahimpour. Those are going to be some interesting matches.
It's such a big advantage in this format to win the winner's final. The winner of that match will be automatically, at worst, second placed in the entire event. So that's where everything is going on right now. And we see them already started. And somehow Kainanen here with the black pieces has his rook already involved. I mean, I'm so impressed with the Finn's ability to cause problems and get that counterplay very early on.
Yeah, he's really creative. He is down a check, though, as we can see. That Black King has a 2 on it, while White still has a 3. But Black has that center. He's trying to do that rook lift, maybe bishop d6. I'm really curious if we can to see what the opening was. Let's check it real quick, Jon Ludwig. It was another Sicilian.
He did this knight f6 move again.
Right, that's the theory he has cooked up.
It's the Kainanen variation.
Yeah. Wow. What? Okay, threatening this, I assume. So that was... Okay.
Maybe it was not a threat after all.
Why? But I think Black is doing fine here. I mean, you're down a check, but you have that massive center.
Oh, I thought Black was fine as well. Then he gave away his rook for no reason.
Okay, he's threatening to win the game here with 1, 2, 3. So I think a move like, what do we play here? G3 or... I don't think you go H3, because then Black might just give a check and go back.
Yeah, so you have to go H3. But then the pawn starts rushing on the side of the board.
Right. Yeah,
he sacrificed his rook basically to say that the white rook and bishop on the left side is just completely out of play. And Kainanen here is basically saying, I'm going to decide this game before these pieces even join the fray.
Yeah. No, really, really creative play by him. So yeah, bishop takes h2 here is a massive threat. I mean, he's gonna... Yeah, g3, there's h5. Okay, I think we go h5, right?
For sure. But I also think White didn't really have a choice there.
Yeah. h3, you just give Black such an easy check there. All right, so h5, I mean, I don't like h4. I mean, it might not stop Black at all. You might just go g5.
I'm so impressed by this attack from Black. Not even down that much material.
Yeah, he's down in exchange. Okay, White, by the way, threatening to win the game. Queen takes c6, that's 2, and then 3. So that needs to be addressed. Maybe king f8?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm sold on that.
I don't like... I mean, you shield your king, but... Okay, he's threatening to win. Bishop d7, maybe? I like the king f8 a lot better, because how are you ever going to check the king from there? Ooh, White fighting back.
Okay, but this is not the biggest concern, is it? We're going to push on the side of the board, and then we're going to trade queens in the center and maybe argue that we have such amazing central control, right? Oh no, he's threatening rook a3.
Ooh. Right, that would have
Oh,
been a nice thing.
I'm
You can
not sure
still do
about
that
that.
here.
Oh no, but then Queen F2. Then no, that would be a
Oh,
mistake.
there's King E1 though. It's not over right away, but it looks really dangerous. D3 played instead.
That's such
I
a
don't know.
good move. I
Wait,
was
wait.
gonna.
Do you have? No, you don't have that because Black starts giving checks. Wow, this is so dangerous. I mean, there's 1, 2, but that's it. A tricky move here would be something like G6, threatening 1, 2, and you'll get the third check. Okay, he's hitting the queen.
He's trying to
Can
open
you
up for
wait?
his light squared bishop.
Can you do this? Can you do this? If you take the queen, there's this. And he
It's a
goes for
winner.
it. Wow.
It's a winner. Oh, but Rook H1. No.
Is a move, but queen takes.
Yeah, Queen takes.
King D8. Okay, wow.
Oh my
What
God,
are
he's
these?
just continuing as if nothing is happening.
Bishop G5 maybe?
No, you take the bishop. There's nothing.
Oh, just taken. Okay,
He could
bishop
have just
F4.
taken the bishop. I don't know. I guess this is just as good.
Yeah, I think you have to go king C8, but then you're giving up everything.
Yeah.
E5. I think that will get taken.
Take, yeah.
Watch out for the light square bishop though. Like,
Yeah, no, but you're threatening rook check and then bishop check.
okay, check. He's 1 check away. How do you make inroads though, rookie? Not
I
over
don't
yet, but
understand
3
why
seconds.
he gave away that bishop just like that. Okay, but now he's getting the final check.
All right.
What a
Nice
game.
win there by Vasquez, who takes down
What a
Toivo and takes a 1-0 lead.
And the loser in this match is already guaranteed third place. So winning those first 2 matches is so huge in this format.
Yeah, if you win the first 2 matches, then you're really playing the tournament on easy mode. If you lose early on, the road through the losers bracket is going to be so much longer. And here, Jan Ludwig, we see this line again with a quick bishop b4 and takes on c3. I think this is where white has an advantage, but it's not as big as in other lines.
Okay. But a bit controversial bringing the queen out, right? In other examples of this line of play, we've seen black just going for the very, very quick queenside castling. Are we expecting the
Right.
same here, just with the queen out first?
Mm-hmm. Right, but I kind of like it because if you would start with knight g7, your queen can be a little bit stuck here. And at least now the queen is active. Queen d3. But how do you continue here? Because if you go b6 and bishop b7, I'm starting to think like, hey, I think there are ideas of take and queenside castles. I like g takes. Oh, takes with the queen. Also fine.
Sar and Rahimpour managed to win their battles in the losers quarterfinals, which means they are potentially knocking out the last year's winner Rogov and the last year's third place finisher Tahir.
And look at this. White goes e5. Can you oh wait, these are Toivo's arrows. He's looking at sacrificing. So knight takes e5, take, then bishop e5. But I don't think you get 1 check, but after king e7, black looks kind of safe.
You're
Those
allowed to
queenside
do
castles work.
mid-game arrows in 3 checks?
Yeah, of course. Those are just their thoughts, their analysis, right? Just like you can do that in normal chess. I like it though for Toivo. I think he's got great attacking chances here.
I agree. At the cost of just a pawn, he does have his pieces quicker into the game.
All right, now I think bishop takes because queen takes would have allowed a check, king h8. Do we sack? Or also, what do you do on knight g5?
I
do
definitely
there?
take that pawn in front of the king.
But I like knight g5 better actually, because how do you defend this? h6, knight h7 anyway, g6, knight h7. I don't think knight h7, but you're losing in exchange. This does not look good for black. Oh wait, can he take? I mean, you get a second check, but not a third check. So he just goes knight h7.
Yeah, once again, we see this theme of the black rook and bishop on the queen side, or rather, the rook and bishop on the queen side. Earlier, we saw it for white, but in general,
Mhm.
this is kind of like the theme in multiple games in a row that getting those two pieces specifically out into the game can be a struggle.
Yeah. All right. So I really like White's chances here. The only thing that I don't like for White is that he's down on time, but should be pretty manageable. Toivo also is a good blitz and bullet player. Rook c8, Black in full defense mode. Maybe like g4, g5 even. Ooh, he's looking at queen d8.
I mean, he's in complete control of the board. We've previously talked about the bishop and the problem of the bishop in three checks. The bishop moves on the light squares. White's king is on a dark square, and you're struggling to get checks with bishops past the opening. Sometimes in the opening you get the checks, but beyond that, it's rare.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. If your opponent's a light square bishop, keep your king in a dark square and you'll be safe. Now he's trying to open up with g5 coming, bishop g8. But how do you ever get to this white king on c1? I don't see how you. Oh, that's how. But
You're not
and white
even close.
take and take. He goes for it. I don't
You're
think this
not
works
even
out.
close. Yeah.
Rook d7 or rook d8 for that matter also looks pretty good. Goes rook d7. Should be a win. d7 has to be played. Rook d8 maybe.
Just go for
Take.
the trade. Yeah, I like this.
Okay, queen f7. I think you have to try to jump.
I don't know why he didn't bring the rook there, but anything should be good enough here.
Right. Queen d8. Is he already threatening to win the game? Okay. Not over yet. I mean, white's down on time. It's not. And this is an
Well,
annoying check. Okay, he's allowing a check.
wow.
I think you throw in the check and then you think afterwards. Although I don't think you have anything after that. And white's going to take here, or queen f8, or
Re-
h7.
really showcasing the uselessness of that bishop.
Okay, he's trading off the queens. Oh, check and rook d7. Okay, nice win there by Toivo.
This is just a different level, it feels like, with these two.
Yeah, these are really good. So it's 1-1. All right, so let's see if one of them can eventually break the trend with black. Here we see, by the way, Toivo deviating from his knight f6 move, and he goes knight h6. But Vasilios also had this earlier against, I believe, I forgot against who. I think against Joseph. c3 followed by d4. He wants to go d4, but he does not want to allow this check on a5.
I mean, this is a controversial opening as far as I'm concerned. White is repeatedly giving away a lot of central control for that one check. And maybe it's good from an objective standpoint, but in practical play, it feels like you're supposed to get a bigger advantage than having black control the center this much.
Right, but it's pretty nice to be up that one check, because you only need two more, whereas black needs three more, which is generally pretty difficult. Okay, so he goes castles. I think this is too much. But what does black now do with the king? This obviously loses. Castling queenside also looks dangerous.
I mean,
So he
I
tries
would
to
be very
close the
tempted
position.
to just take the pawn in the center, but
Uh-huh. Right, but yeah, just bishop c2. Okay, I think you have to go queenside. Again, kingside is not an option. b3, yeah.
anytime white tries to kick the black knight away, you're not going to move the knight. You're going to support it with the pawn along the edge of the board
Yeah,
and
the
trying to
classic.
open up for your rook. So that knight is really annoying for white to get rid of.
Yeah, so e5 played. He's trying to go e4. I was thinking, by the way, maybe we take and bishop f4, but that does allow black a check.
maybe that's not such a big deal, seeing as how you're up a check already.
Right, the checks will be equalized there, but at least White will get their pieces out.
I maybe I'm misjudging these things, but I think the first check you can actually play rather strategically
Hmm.
and allow it sometimes.
Right. Okay, so wow,
Wow,
g5
he
thereby.
doesn't take a free check.
All right. Okay, takes. You take again, and now rook
I
e1
mean,
hitting the queen.
he could have gotten a free check there. I mean, the only concession he would have made is that White's pieces get into play a little bit quicker. But even that, no material, just getting the pieces quicker into play, and he says no to the check.
Yeah, this looks winning for White. B takes c4. You get a rook to the b file as well. I don't see how Black is stopping the checks here long term. I think White should just be winning here.
Agreed.
I mean, maybe just take or c5. He's threatening queen a7. By the way, I think this is it. You don't like queen a7 is a massive threat. You have
Yeah,
to go queen b8, but then you might rook queen a7.
it's over.
GG. All right,
Nice.
nice win there by Vasquez as he takes a 2-1 lead. Yeah, we've talked about it. I think really at the top level, Vasquez and Toivo are really two of the absolute best players. It's going to be really difficult to break with Black.
Okay, we're jumping into a match that may be decided here with Tahir, last year's third place winner. He will be out if he loses with the black pieces against Rahimpour. So that essentially means that Rahimpour has broken the serve. He has managed to win with the black pieces already in this matchup, and he now needs a white win to secure his place in the loser bracket semifinal.
Wow, he's sacrificing that pawn in the middle. I mean, overall, I think Joseph is doing all right. Also, he has a massive lead on the clock, but he decides not to take. So, I mean, where is he going to go with the king? I don't really like queenside castles. Then you're inviting all sorts of pawn pushes. Kingside castles I also don't like. So, 92, I think very nice strategic play here by Rahimpour. Do we take the pawn? I think, if you don't, you're looking at a really bad position strategically as soon as white gets in c3.
But black is going to try to open up with like the f6 move and try and open the g file to get a rook.
Wait, but doesn't this lose a piece like knight takes d4 and g3?
Which then I would say is a very good argument in favor of not being so obsessed with that pawn in the center.
Right. I mean, he's down a full piece here. He doesn't have any checks, but okay, he's trying to fight back with h4 here. Maybe just
If
rook
that works
e1.
out, it is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But what about this, Benjamin? Queen f3 with the intention of.
No, but it's only
Yeah,
1-2.
yeah, it's not enough. I was going to say that I was going to open up the f file with my rook, but the problem
Wait,
was that black is threatening queen takes pawn right now.
wait. How are you not losing here? Bishop of 1 is a massive threat. You can give 1, 2 checks, but you don't get the third check. I think this is over unless Joseph comes up with something amazing. But bishop f1 would trap the queen, and if you lose your queen, you're not going to get any checks.
Maybe you can go like queen g3. Is that some kind of
Wait,
craziness?
what does he have in mind in case of en passant here?
I guess he has to cancel queenside.
But bishop f1, and you lose the queen.
Yeah, and then you go queen g3 and you pray essentially.
Rahimpour down on time. That's Joseph's one chance here. He's bishop f1. Wait, what do you do? Bishop f1? That's just a queen.
Queen
There are no
g3. I'm
checks.
saying queen g3.
Oh, right, but it's okay. No, okay. I
No
mean, maybe,
way.
but he's got 30
No.
seconds. It's tricky though. It's tricky with 30 seconds and black
No,
is one.
no, you're not going to convince me this is tricky.
Well, if you move your queen, you already lose the game. In 22 seconds, hot take. I think Joseph is going to win
That
because
would
he's such a good
equalize
bullet
the
player.
match. And now he is going to win because rook takes bishop. Oh no, he needs 2 checks.
E5, tricky move. I think white's not going to make it. I mean, 12 seconds.
I don't know. It looks good right now. He's up a
We've
rook
got
and a bishop.
11 seconds.
Rook and a bishop. And he's got an open file for his rooks.
Yeah, but I've played many games against Joseph. He's really good at flagging people. I think he's going to get it done.
Yeah, he needs to avoid the rook trade here.
Yeah,
no, he's
Joseph
allowing
is
the
going to
rook
win.
trade.
He's got no time.
Yeah.
He's not going to make it.
White really needed to go for the rook trade there, but he was hesitating.
Joseph just needs to avoid getting into checks. No, it's not going to happen. Play a move like d3, or... Oh, wait.
And
No.
he gets the checks. Okay, 2 matches move into overtime, and we're going to check out the first one of those matches. It is the winner's final. The winner in this game is guaranteed top 2. The loser will have to fight for the spot in the grand final against the winner of the loser's bracket. And we have a draw in the standings. There's been a draw between Rogov and Tsar.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened. Maybe we can have a look later. But yeah, so here we have the game in overtime between Vasquez and Toivo. And Toivo switching it up with the Owens defense, if you will. I've seen him do this before. Now, I've seen a game where he played something like castles. White played something like knight g5, and he sacrificed a bunch of material, but at least he was safe. I remember him playing a game like that a couple of years ago. So let's see what he's going to do here. By the way, can you take? He says yes.
Big decision, opening up the center of the board. I'm not sure I like this. White could have just traded and pushed their pawn forward in the center, it feels like to me.
Mm-hmm. Queen g4, is that threatening to win the game? Maybe. I think it is. Take,
I think it is,
check,
yeah.
and a knight g4.
I agree
win the
with
game.
your assessment.
So I think a move like knight c3 would be losing, right? Because 1, you go 2, and then knight g4, and you'll get the 3rd check. That would be the end of the game.
But I don't think he can stop it.
And also, by the way, this is hanging.
Yeah, it's a free knight.
Okay, knight g5 played to defend. Maybe just a move like... Oh, and... Okay, by the way, the arrows we see here from are Toivo's arrows. He's looking at knight h3 or knight f3. I guess in case of f4, maybe he wants to give a check, give up the knight, avoid immediate losing, and have that check in your back pocket.
Immediate being the key word.
Yeah. h4 by Vasquez.
He can postpone this loss, but I don't think he can avoid it. He's giving up a knight, but in giving up the knight, he will also open up for the white rook to attack against the black king.
Okay, so f5. He's potentially allowing a big check here. What happens in case of queen g3?
I'm such in a crazy house kind of mood that I was considering the queen sacrifice, but I'm realizing the importance of the queen in the 3 checks format.
Yeah. No, the queen is really important because it's such a powerful checking piece. Queen g3, maybe he wants to go knight f7 to block this check, and in case of check and check, you can take with a knight. Who knows?
I mean, if that works out, applause to him. But it is working out insofar as Vasquez here with the white pieces. He's really taking his time, and every time we saw black win, it has usually been about the time situation on the clock affecting matters.
But what is this? Bishop takes e6. He gives up a full bishop. I think you take that with the pawn. I think you can take with the knight. You allow a second check, but not a third check.
Yeah, I think knight takes looks good. Pawn takes also looks good, but I guess his intention is just to move the queen back.
All right, queen g5. I'm kind of confused here by Vasquez's play. I mean, he has the first check in his pocket. What is Toivo going to do now? Maybe... I don't think that, because I don't think you get more checks in.
I mean, any piece to any square. What about queen takes pawn in the center?
Knight f7. Okay, white's got a lot of... Wait, take, knight g6?
Oh,
look at that.
My God. What a way to decide this winner's final. He sacrifices his queen, comes in with the knight. The knight is such a tricky piece because you cannot avoid its checks with it jumping around, and taking the knight is winning for white with that final pawn move on the edge. That is one of the most beautiful combinations to win the game we've ever seen.
Yeah, and here we see why Vasquez is such an expert in this format. It's game over, but the arrows we see is maybe Toivo regretting what he should have played, but really nice tactic there to finish off the match for Vasquez as he moves on to the grand final.
Let's jump into the other match going on with their playoff, but it is Josef who is gonna make it happen for him. He's coming in with the queen, with the checkmate, and that was what an impressive strike back from Tahir, last year's third place finisher. He was down 2-0 and ended up winning 3-2.
Yeah. So yeah, we see Josef here taking the match to overtime. But what's really important to point out, Jan, is we saw in the match between Vasquez and Toivo that white won all of the games, right? It was 2-2 and then overtime, and then Vasquez got the white pieces. Now, Vasquez was lucky to get the white pieces in overtime because he had the higher seeding, because he won the very first qualifier. So that was pretty important by him, you know? It was pretty important to play that very first qualifier, win, and get the higher seeding, because it is a big advantage. It is a big advantage to get those white pieces in overtime.
Yeah, and I think the system that we've adopted for this championship makes perfect sense in that regard, because everyone is trying to qualify for the championship in the first qualifier, right? And so we're giving an advantage to the winner of the first one, because the winner of the second one had to play everyone except the guy who won in the first place. Okay, so very impressive strike back there from Tahir to win it. The reigning champion Rogov still in it. We can take a look at the brackets. It's Rogov versus Tahir for the third place, minimum third place. The winner of that match will play Kainanen, who joins them from the winner's final. But in the grand final, with an insanely impressive performance so far, it's Vasilios Kasiumis, and also known by his username, Vasquez.
Yeah, Vasquez is a bit easier. But yeah, Vasquez in a great spot. He's in the grand finale. And since he has not lost a single match, everyone in this format has 2 lives. He also still has that second life. So even if you lose the match, you would have to beat him twice. And on top of that, Jan Ludwig, he gets the white pieces in overtime. So good luck taking him down. But we'll see who will make it through.
He's in a great position, and we're going to take a break now. When we return, we'll see who gets to challenge the Greek in the grand final. We're back with the Chess.com 3 Checks Championship. Give 3 checks and you win the game. We have 4 players remaining. I'm Jon Ludwighammer. I'm joined by Benjamin Bock. And Benjamin, which one of these 4 players will we see in the grand final?
I think probably, Toivo has the best chances. He is already in the losers final. He needs to win one more match. Whereas these 2 guys we are about to see, Rogov and Josef, will first have to win in the loser semis and then have to beat Toivo. Toivo has been pretty impressive. I mean, Vasquez a little bit better, I would say. But I'd say so far, I think Toivo is having a good claim to be the second best player in this event. And Jon Ludwig, we've seen this opening before. Maybe has it also been between Stedham and Josef?
It's a repeat.
Yeah, it is.
It's a repeat of the first round. Rogov here, Statham with the white pieces. He got himself into some trouble against Tahir in the first match between these two. He was down 2-0, managed to strike back to equalize 2-2, but in the end, Tahir managed to win the overtime game. Let's see how this one pans out, considering that they've already tried their openings against one another 4 games already, 5 games.
Yeah, I quite like this position for white. I mean, white has more space. It's always difficult for black to get the pieces in, and we know how important space, the initiative, and attack are in 3 chess. He goes king h8. Wow, what do we make of... I mean, I don't like it. Take 95?
I mean, I'm not sure I like this opening at all for black, considering the problems with the black bishop on the queen side. I just think this is such an horrendous piece that, yeah, no, I'm not sure about this not trading bishop for knight strategy that Tahir has.
Right, he goes 95. And now white is well poised to come in with some checks. f6 played, I think, a clever move. And here we have a typical example of, you can get a check, but you ruin your entire position, so he goes back. But I don't know, Jon Ludwig. I mean, he gives up 2 tempi for what, actually?
Yeah, no, this has massively improved black's position. The black pawn is now in a better place to contribute, controlling the center of the board. You're blocking out the white bishop. That was, I don't know what was it, but that was not it.
No, that was not it. Yeah. Bishop d7, solid move by Josef. I think he's just trying to sit here with the rook coming to e8, and there we have it. He could have also maybe played, I think the ambitious approach would have been a5 followed by bishop a6, even though also there the bishop is not doing much. So these 2 bishops, I know you're a big fan of the bishop pair, but they're not the greatest bishops we've ever seen, right?
Wow, controversial decision there to open up the file in the center when you could have undoubled your pawns. But I think at this point, Josef, with the black pieces, he just knows that he's the man. He has way better control of the center. He was threatening to trap the white bishop on the right edge of the board by just pushing his pawns against it. And that bishop that I declared dead and buried is everything but.
Yeah, and now I really like Josef's chances. I mean, this bishop is going to be pushed away. Ooh, queen h5 with the fork. Wait, queen h5? What does he plan? I mean, you have 1, 2, but I don't think you get the 3rd check. Because queen f5 instead. Wait, something like rook d3 could be tricky. And he goes for it.
Missed opportunity, and now white is threatening to win the game.
Yeah. I don't know why queen h5 was not played. Queen e5.
That could be a mistake that he lives to regret, but Rogov, as has been his MO, is spending a lot of time, which is hurting his chances right now.
Yeah, that is something we've seen from Josef before throughout this event. He's always up on time, and that is so important in 3 check. It's really hard to navigate the complications, especially when you have no time. One, but wait, your bishop gets trapped. I think that's it. Because with the rook alone, you're not going to get any checks in.
The bishop is indeed trapped, White is desperately trying to open up some files for their rook to get some counterplay against the black king.
Wait, yeah, I don't think you can take that. Black's gonna get one. You can take, but he doesn't do it. I think Yosef's got this. White doesn't have any checks, and White's got no time.
Yeah, the black pawns are pushing forward, trying to open up in front of the white king. It is opened up. The rook comes in with one check. Actually, I'm not sure that was in Yosef's best interest to give up those pawns there.
But he's just going for the flag. He's gonna get it done. I've played Yosef plenty of times, and he's
Yeah,
just
but
gonna get
now
the
if the
flag
king
done
goes
here.
back, the rook can sacrifice.
The problem is, yeah,
Yeah, now he
you
can
cannot
continue.
pre-move in. It's very hard to pre-move in 3 check, right? Because we see here he went for a tricky move, but Black just gets the checks and wins the game. So that is really something Statham is going to work on, especially against Josef. Josef is a fast player. You cannot fall too far behind on the clock.
Same opening, but different approach, where Josef likes to retreat his bishop and hope that the bishop gets back into play later on, which we did just see in that game. Rogov, Statham here with the black pieces. He's going for a strategy where he trades a bishop for a knight.
Yeah, to me this looks pretty fine for Black. I mean, taking the pawn looked kind of risky. D6 Statham giving it up, but are you okay? Oh, I thought he was
I'm
going to take.
still I'm still so surprised by how good positions black is getting, right?
Right. Yeah, because this looks
Black just
completely
won
fine
the
to me.
previous game, and now black has potentially an advantage here.
Yeah. Oh, interesting move. So he's giving up a pawn, actually 2 pawns. These, but Josef again getting an edge on the clock. That's been his strategy. I feel like throughout this tournament.
I kind of like bishop e2 to trade the queens in a good manner,
Right, but
increasing
then
black's control of the center.
you don't have a lot of checking pieces left. You have that bishop, but if White keeps that king on the dark shore, you can't deliver checks. So I think
Yeah, but I'm
I'm
gonna overwhelm white with my pawns in the center.
right. Okay, f5, f4 again. Josef with the speedy moves, almost up a minute on the clock here, and we saw that being a huge factor in the last game.
This looks very much in white's favor now. That last pawn move was not good. The black bishop is now cramped, and there are some threats of checks if you start making trades.
Yep. All right. I predict that Josef is gonna win this game on time. I mean, he's up more than a minute on the clock. His position looks fine. This looks tough for Black.
I mean, I was loving the black position earlier, but I feel like black gave away control of the dark
Ooh,
squares, which is rather important when you have the bishop that moves on the light squares. You're always going to
look at
have
this
good light.
move. I quite like it. Oh wait, but it gave away a check. Knight takes e4. You can get one check. You can get a second check, but not a third check. Queen of 5. Oh, he's starting to win the game. Queen of 1. Check, check here. Knight of 2. Clever move.
But now the bishop just moves into the e2 square, and you're going to be able to capture an important white pawn afterwards. And you've managed to force the white knight on defense.
Yeah, but Black is down to 35 seconds. I mean, and Josef's got 2:23 on his clock.
He's got to move.
He's not going to survive this. I mean, the only thing Josef needs to do here is make sure he doesn't get checkmated or 3-checked, and he's going to win the game. Maybe rook c1 if you're feeling greedy, or just h3. Goes rook e1. Can
Yeah,
Black
I
be
think
taken?
this looks good. And then queen over in the center, forcing the bishop back. You
Ooh, threatening a check. You
White is
cannot
putting all
allow
their
that.
pieces.
No,
I didn't
Josef
even
is going
see
to win
that.
another game. I mean, Black's got no time. I think White also has the position. Yeah, but you just take. And then all you have to do is survive. Yep. Okay, h3. Just make sure you're safe. Or queen e. Okay.
I'm watching the Twitch chat, which is legitimately having some discussions about theory that is being developed in this championship and how you could improve upon the players' previous play.
Nice, nice. All right, well, black is down to 6 seconds here. King g2. That rook is tricky though, but all Joseph needs to do, by the way, knight f6 would have been knight f6. King g6,
Yeah,
check.
that's it. He even could have gotten a fourth
Yep, yeah.
if he needed.
All right. Nice win there by Joseph as he takes a 2-0 lead. But yeah, it's been clear. If Statham wants to win this game, he needs to speed up. He cannot fall a minute behind on the clock against Joseph. Joseph will just keep that time advantage and then later either trick him or flag him.
So we're expecting to see a pacier player with the white pieces. In case you're sick of me saying it, I'm still going to say it once again. The reigning champion here with the white pieces is facing elimination in this game, which would put him in a fourth place finish.
Right, but I quite like this position for Joseph. I mean, I think he's got fairly active piece play with the half-open f-file. His king is kind of safe as well. You can go with the bishop back to d6. Maybe it's time to bring this knight over, like knight to g3. What do you think?
Imagine winning 3-0, having started with the black pieces.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That is just really sending a message to their opponent that I'm not here to just try and survive the black games. I will go on offense and create difficult challenges for you.
Yep. All right, so e5 played by Joseph, queen h5, nice move. He's threatening. I mean, it's only 1-2 checks. I think nothing decisive just yet, but also aiming to bring in this rook as well. I think Statham is doing well on the board.
Rook comes in. The rook can also push. I mean, if the black bishop moves, the white rook is just going to be a menace. So instead, the bishop stays put, being protected by the black queenside rook.
Mm-hmm.
I guess now you lift rook to e3, maybe.
Right, but how? Rook e3 to f3. Yeah, there he goes.
Queen takes pawn was actually a win there. I think maybe. No, never mind. I'm silly. Maybe actually, it wasn't out of the range of possibility.
Right, there are ideas of bishop takes g3. He goes for that. I don't think you can take with the rook. There'll be 1, 2, 3. So rook takes is not a move. I think you have to take with this pawn.
But then that showcases why the trade was so good for black, because now the rook will be unable to slide over to help white's attack.
Yep. Statham can also throw in 1, 2 checks, but I think although yeah,
he can actually do it. And then the queen has to move, and then there's no longer a queen sacrifice. No, but then the king would hide. Ooh, this is such a tricky variant.
But he's down again, 40 seconds on the clock against Joseph. Joseph will definitely try to milk that take. Or can you take with the pawn? You allow 1, 2 checks.
No, it's a third one from the side.
Right, yeah. Okay, bishop takes. Playing for safety. Now again, Joseph will just try to survive on the board and try to flag him. That will be a strategy. Bishop 5, clever move, trying to trade off the bishops.
Great strategy, making sure that you have the knight versus one bishop for the opponent. Then you just put the king on the opposite color of your opponent's bishop, and you're reasonably safe.
Okay, this is probably too much. I mean, this is way too much. Maybe c5 and d4 to... Oh, he wants rook e1. Clever idea. Rook e1. Queen f7, hitting this.
You just got to push the pawn and hope for the best, but the black pawns are going to push white's bishop out of the fray.
Yeah, d4. All right, Joseph again playing the clock here. He's up 30 seconds. Can he do it once again?
I think you just go with the pawn b6, keep your pawns protected.
Right, and then I think it's too much, but it might be an idea to go f5. You give up a pawn, but you get 1, 2 checks. But I think in that endgame, like we said, you just put the king on the white
Yeah.
square, and it's going to be so hard. King
Even
f2?
though
King f2 maybe would threaten to win the game. Oh, he goes for it.
yeah, I don't like that because he wouldn't even have gotten the two checks he would have previously, right? No, he would. Never mind.
Okay, b4 Josef now also getting low on time, but he's a really good bullet player. Takes knight g8. That's so passive though.
He's got to go pawn h6, try and create some space for his king.
Or he goes h6, but this looks okay. King h7, knight f6 is a way to crawl out.
Looks okay, actually.
If you get this knight in, I really like Black's chances. And yeah, and there he goes. I like Josef's chances here. I think it's going to be really difficult for White to navigate this with a little time. I think you just you have to take. Nothing to think. Oh,
It's a
wait,
free
wait.
rook, free rook.
Right, but
I
it's
think you
1,
can
2.
allow two checks, right?
Yeah, he could have. Okay. Knight g4. Knight h6 playing for safety. Josef going for the flag.
Ooh,
Wait,
but
can he
now the
take?
sack.
Oh!
But
And
it's
then I think you go pawn check. Oh, so he decides not to. Ooh!
ooh.
Josef completely
Wow.
losing here. I think Statham will get it on. Rook e7. Trade, and this should be a
And
pretty easy
Joseph
one.
is down on time as well. Nicely
Wow.
done.
Nice win there by Statham to bring it back to 2-1. Now let's see if he can win with the black pieces to force overtime.
Yeah, no, I mean, he did do very well there in his white game, but the black game is the true test here.
Yeah, and we see b takes c3 by Josef. I mean, we've seen a lot of d takes c3, queen h4 hitting this, and d3 to defend it.
Surely a controversial move, just putting the queen on a square where it's going to be attacked by white's pieces so easily afterwards.
Yeah, and d4 Josef building a massive center here. Maybe e5, because if white gets that pawn here, white has great attacking chances. d6 played. Now what is Statham gonna... Yeah, but I don't like this. Where do you go with the king? This is not an option, just not at all. e5, okay. Rook b1 I like. Oh, he opens up the position, okay. Still like rook b... Okay, nice move by Josef.
Preventing the king from getting to the king's side simply by using the bishop to point down in that direction, making kingside castling illegal. Just like in normal chess.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, normal rules still apply here. Oh, but queen f6 followed by knight g7. That's a nice idea by Statham. Wait, what's his idea in case of queen g6?
Ooh, bishop c4.
Oh!
Game over. Game over.
And that's
Boom.
1, 2, and you're going to get the third check. Oh, that's it. That's
Not
it.
even close. Not even close.
And look
That
at this.
is-
Queen g4, boom. Bishop takes f7, queen takes d7, knight takes c5. I think that's it.
The knockout blow to put the reigning champion out of the tournament. It's Tahir who makes it through to the loser bracket final. I guess that's what we call it.
Yes, the loser's final. Yep.
The loser's final. And there he's going to face the Finnish Kainanen to decide who goes through to the grand final.
Wow, and look at this. Knight takes c5, trying to finish off the game in style, but how do you actually win? Okay, queen e2. He needs a few more checks. Queen b5 would win the game on the spot. Bishop c4, stop it. Not over just yet.
Wait,
But
how is the game still going on? I did the whole shebang.
well, he gave up his queen to avoid the checks, but White still got a check in and is up a queen now. So it was a
Yeah, but
bit
he
much.
gave up his queen for a bishop. Well, that doesn't explain how black is up two knights. Where did the other one go?
Well, he gave it up to get a check in.
Ah.
But I don't think Statham is going to survive here long term. Like queen c5?
Yeah, I like that move.
right? You can throw in a check, but it's just one check, and overall, you're not going to stop the white pieces for too long. Knight of 7.
I have no idea why he chose that square instead of the one you suggested.
Yeah, this is just completely lost. I mean, black has not
Take
given a
the
single
rook and
check
you
to the
go
white king.
c6. But yeah, white gets on the d file.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be it. Queen b5 Queen b5 GG. All right, so we see Josef moving on and Queen takes c6. So Josef moving on to the losers final.
And there he will face Kainanen, where we're going to bring up the bracket showcasing Josef Taher makes his way to the losers final, a 3-1 win against the reigning champion Matvey Rogov. And now Kainanen. He's going to see if he can actually put Taher in the same placement as last year's tournament, where Taher finished third.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Josef playing good chess, but Toivo has played some. I feel like so far has been the second best player in this event, so it's not going to be an easy task for Josef.
It's going to be exciting to see because Kainanen, he only played what, 3 matches to get to where he is, and now he's facing players who played way more matches to get to this stage. Can I try to make the argument that he's gotten more practice and kind of has a bit more of a grasp of some opening ideas than the guys who kind of just swam through and sailed their way into here, in this example, Kainanen?
That is true, but on the other hand, maybe Toivo has had some time to relax, maybe check a few openings. That being said, we see Josef playing the same opening he played against Statham, and I'm curious to see if it seems like Toivo has not checked it as he's taking his time here.
Kind of surprising, right? Because now that you made the argument, the break means that you have time to actually check the openings and maybe do some analysis on the other players. I was ready to just completely abandon what I was saying and just agree with you that this is a massive advantage for the Finn in multiple ways. But like you said, he spent 30 seconds there on what is a pretty new move compared to what we've seen previously.
Yeah, wow, and knight takes d4 by Josef. I was about to point out what we had seen before in this position instead of b5. Let me go back real quick. In this position, they continued with bishop e3, d5, and knight g5. That's what we saw in the match between Stedham and Josef, but we see Toivo deviating, and Josef gives up a full piece, but ooh, I think this is too much, but Josef says no.
I mean, I think he's just in a bad situation from the opening, and he's like, okay, I have the black pieces. I don't really expect to win, but I'll give a check and kind of try to hope my opponent blunders. And Kainanen, with his time usage, he might get himself in trouble.
Yeah, but this looks losing on the board. I mean, black is down 2 pieces. White even in somewhat of an attacking position, if you will. Maybe bishop c4, setting up all sorts of discoveries. That being said, black is only 2 checks away, right? And you have to be careful not to allow this check, although it would be too much here. King h8, that's a clever move, making sure that none of these are checks. And by the way, Toivo down to a little more than a minute.
That's what I'm saying. He's not looking as fresh as he was earlier in the day. He's looking a bit slower.
Right, c6 here. Okay, Josef playing the clock here. I think we've said it before. Like you said, he just gives up some material, throws in a check, and he's like, "Hey, if you get low on time, I can flag you. You can blunder, right? Because all you need to do here with white is blunder a check. Oh, knight f4. That's a great move, threatening lots of checks. Oh, and you get the knight back. Uh-huh.
Kind of desperate going for the queen trade here. Only one knight extra for white. But on the other hand, if I had said that in a chess game, I would make fun of myself. A knight,
Yeah, but I
quite a significant advantage.
yeah, and I don't.
Ooh, but now
Oh, great move.
ooh, it's. I mean, it
Uh
doesn't take
oh.
more than that, right?
Yeah, bishop d5. Great move. H5. Oh, he's setting the H pawn. I mean, this is difficult to navigate. Rook takes c3 would lose the game due to rook f1.
That's a nice trick. Maybe push the pawn to enable yourself to take. Yeah,
Bishop g4.
you have to
But
try and
22
push the black
seconds.
bishop away.
Joseph is so fast. He's so tricky.
Now you can take the pawn. Okay,
He's
Kainanen
got
is
this.
taking control.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a
That's
winning
15
position.
seconds.
He only has 15 seconds, but it should be enough, I think.
Right. Okay. Okay. You just cannot allow a check. So here's the thing. In normal chess, you could pre-move your way to a win here. Eh. No, this is gonna be no. Once you get the queen, it's gonna be really easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. GG. It's
Not
gonna be too easy
a
to check.
great fight there, I think, from Josef. I mean, he put up a great fight, but I think he relaxed a bit too soon. He thought when Kainanen was down to 12 seconds, he thought, okay, I'm gonna make this work. But in 12 seconds, a lot can happen when you have the pace that Toivok has.
Wow, and look at this. I think this is all some sort of theory by Toivo. Oh, by the way, if you take on d7, you lose the game because of 1, 2, 3.
I mean, this looks amazing for black. I don't understand why we've played into this.
No, I think Joseph is already completely losing, if I'm being honest. Because like knight takes d4, black. Oh, by the way, white is up a check. That is the one thing they've got going for them. But all of black's pieces are pointing towards the white king. So I really like Toivo's chances here.
It seems ridiculous by Tahir to play so quickly going into this when it kind of looked good for black from the get-go.
Yeah, but that I mean he's been a fast player throughout this event. It's worked out in a lot of games, but maybe in this game it is backfiring. It's like we said, it seems like. By the way, is this winning the game? So
It
take,
looks
check.
very close.
You have knight h2, king h1 though, and then maybe you
Oh,
take,
I want the bishop check,
but then king h1.
and then bishop takes knight.
Okay, but the easy move bishop takes c5 also looks excellent for black, and that's what Toivo is pointing out now. Right, I think you just take. I think you look for a way to win, and if you don't see it, you just take, and you still keep a great position.
I don't know. I think queen takes, bishop check, and then bishop takes knight, because then you're threatening for the black knight to come in, and you're also threatening for the rook to come up, and you're threatening the knight in the center.
Right, so he takes on c5. He did not see the immediate win, but this looks really promising. Wow, but your position is just. I mean, again, he's losing on the board, but he's up a check, so it's tricky. Can we take that? It does allow another check. I think he has to go for it.
I'm so confused.
This has to be losing, but Toivo is only one check away from losing the game, so it's tricky. I mean, for example, if you would lose this pawn, the rooks start coming in. Like rook here, here, here. It's tricky.
Yeah, so queen c5 you kind of have to play, right?
Yeah, that's a nice move, as then you threaten to win the game.
So you're
Or queen
forcing the
e5.
white rook on defense.
Yeah, no, that's very clever, right? And I think it's good to do that now because you don't want to allow white to defend it with a rook from d3. Rook f2.
I think actually he made a mistake.
This is tricky though.
Yeah, I'm
d3.
starting to think Kainanen maybe shouldn't have gone for all the trades on that occasion.
H5. Okay, take is too much,
Well,
I
king
think.
f1. King f1, there's no checks.
Oh, that's a nice move. Yeah.
But then
And now
queen
rook
e4.
d7 is a massive threat.
Queen e4, and then you go king g1, and maybe it's a draw.
We might see a draw, yeah.
It's actually going to be a draw. This is
I
crazy. We saw one draw previously in the Tsar versus Rogov match, and we were like, how does that even happen? Now we see it. This is how a draw happens 3 times the same position. The white king is trying to get away from the black queen's check. It's trying to unpin its own rook. And wow, it's a draw.
But maybe you can go. Okay, I think he goes for the draw, also because of the time situation, and he's up in the match.
Yeah, I think
that is so funny.
With the black pieces, a draw feels kind of like a win. What's the significant difference? I mean, I guess if you manage to lose with the white pieces, there's a big difference. But otherwise, you've kind of broken the white streak.
All right, so let's see. We see b5 again, and now Joseph deviating with knight to a5. All right, so now let's see. Wait, knight g5 looks really tempting. That's a very typical move in 3-check, aiming to take here, and you'll get quite a few checks. And bishop d3 instead was chosen. And h6, Joseph was afraid of that move, so he decides to stop it.
This is for the match. If Kainanen wins this game, the match is over. He's through to the grand final. On the other hand, if he loses this game, he's in big trouble because then the match is tied with him having the black pieces in the final one.
Right, but Toivo has shown throughout this event that he can hold himself with the black pieces. I thought last game he got a great position out of the opening, but Joseph's so tricky. He always manages to stir up some complications, then he's up on time, and that's why Toivo was like, all right, fine, I just take the draw. But
I'm very confused.
well, I think bishop h7 could not be allowed. Well, that's why knight g6 was played.
Nice call.
Queen d2. I love this position for Toivo, though. I mean, setting up. Okay. Yep.
The black pieces got stuck on the queen side. Now they're trying to get back into the game. The light squared bishop for white is so valuable because the black king very often ends up on a light square. But Kainanen here gives up one of his most prized possessions because he knows getting just more pieces.
That's not a move.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, no.
No, this is over. Yeah, you're just not like even in normal chess, you're not surviving. I mean, normal chess maybe, but wait, queen h6. What do you do?
Yeah,
you get a check.
Mate.
And he's looking at it. Queen h6. No, that's it. Black gets a check. Wait. Yeah, that's it.
GG. It's Kainanen to the grand final where he will get a rematch against his nemesis from the winner bracket final. The 2 guys who managed to get to the winner bracket final, they were also the 2 guys who meet in the grand final, really cementing their dominance on this field. The grand final we have in store for you Vasilios Kasiumas and Toivo Kainanen. The Finnish names come a lot easier to me, I must admit, as a Nordic person myself. But that is what we have to look forward to when we return from this break.
All right. Yep, that's going to be exciting to see indeed.
This is the Chess.com 3 Checks Championship. I'm Jon Ludwig Hammer. I'm joined by Benjamin Bock. But the most important people right now are our finalists from Greek, looking like he cannot be beaten so far. He's been dominant, winning 3-0, 3-0, and 3-2. It's Vasilios Kasioumis. And he's going to face off against Toivo Kainanen in a repeat of the winners' final, Benjamin.
Yeah, no, he has been dominant so far. The player who has given him the toughest run for his money definitely is Toivo, though. That match went to overtime, where Vasquez, also with the advantage in that overtime game with the white pieces, managed to win. So I'm really curious to see on Ludwig what Toivo is going to do with the black pieces. It really seems like he did not survive the openings in the winners final. So I'm very curious to see what he's going to do, right? Like, he's going to have to cook up something different. It's just so difficult, right, to play with black.
I kind of disagree. I think the first black game he had in the winners final, where he gave up that check but got his rook up along the left side of the board, I thought that looked very, very promising for him. I'm wanting him to repeat that because I feel like that had some potential.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely that's a line that he could repeat. And I'm curious to see if Vasquez is going to come with an improvement. To me, it also looked like he had a fine position.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? That in the while everyone else has been doing the loser bracket, Vasquez here with the white pieces, he's been able to try and find some improvements.
All right, 95, tricky move, white's up a check. This is one of the main lines. If you take, you lose the game. Do the queen a4. And the idea, Toivo is pointing out bishop d7. White just wants to build in the center with f4, or maybe bishop f4, and claim that he's better.
I'll buy that argument. White having down a pawn, but very well-placed pieces in the center of the board, and crucially, the extra check.
Yeah, no, that is really the difference maker. So let's see what Toivo is going to do here. Do you go kingside castles? I mean, white's going to go bishop e2, castles, rook f3. This is not an easy position for black to play. I think you just go bishop e2 and castle. But let's see. And there he goes.
So far, so good. A check threatened on the edge, so the king kind of has to castle, no?
Yeah, I think castles has to be played. And then what is Toivo going to do here? I mean, castles is an option, but this looks promising for white. Rook f3 or rook h3?
G6 for sure, right? Pawn to g6. You kind of want to push the white knight in the center away, but you need to prevent some checks in from the side.
Yeah, great observation. And Toivo agrees. I like Vasquez's chances here. I mean, he has that extra check, but it's difficult to get the two remaining checks in.
And keep in mind that the white bishop on the dark squares is being blocked in by its own pawns. So that bishop really needs to improve, in addition to being down a pawn. So, I mean, as long with the black pieces, as long as you have some advantages, I feel like the opening has been reasonable for you.
Yeah. No, white definitely has their trumps here, right? They have the extra check, but black has a knight on e4. They have an extra pawn. b3, nice move though by Vasquez. If he can get that bishop in, I think he will destabilize the black position.
I like the trade in the center though, because then black could potentially kind of push the pawns forward on the king side. Whatever black does, you should not trade the pawns that are up against one another now, because that would, like you said, allow the white bishop to get into the game by opening up for white's corner rook.
Yeah. You could, okay, he gives up the pawn on c4. I wonder what he has in mind here. I mean, you can, I think taking looks too dangerous. White takes with the knight. Wait, what? Knight takes? That looks great to me. But what do I know? Knight takes c4?
I guess he castles?
Could you even... It's probably too much. Okay, I was even looking at bishop a3. Take and
I think you still castle here probably, but a4 was a really good move.
Right. Okay. I was just about to say, I think that knight has to go, takes, and now I think you castle. Right. You give up the exchange, but you get your king to
You
safety.
don't
And
even
by the
give
way,
up the rook because there's checks.
right, indeed, you go queen g5. Yeah.
We could get another draw
Yeah.
in theory.
Yes. And and by the way, that black arrow there is Toivo. He's aiming to meet bishop a3 with queen g5. Bishop f3 played. Now it is probably a threat to take, and then you will get another check. I don't think that can be allowed.
Agreed.
We're getting the bullet territory in the meantime with both players below a minute, and I like Vasquez's chances here, as he would just he just has that extra check.
But I mean, Toivo, this Toivok username, I remember from 15 years ago playing 1 minute chess. Like before Kainanen became one of the best Finnish players in regular chess, he was a menace online in the quicker time controls.
And Vasquez down on the clock here. This looks dangerous for white. I mean, simply because of the time situation. 23 seconds, and I don't see how you're getting those two checks in.
Yeah, no, and giving up that dark squared bishop was not optimal because now the black king finds safety on a dark square. And now it's all about surviving until the opponent runs out of time.
Yeah, let's see if you can do it. Rook d4. I mean, keep in mind that white does have that extra check. Toivo having great break chances here.
Yeah, you might even consider going with the queen.
h3, f4, clever moves. Oh, nice maneuvering here. Maybe h5.
Very well spotted by Kainanen to kind of predict what the opponent was trying to do. But there's some dangerous stuff going on right now.
Oh, this is so tricky, though. Queen d4 cannot be
Yeah.
allowed. He gives it the queen. Oh,
Oh,
I think white's gonna get it done.
he
Let's roll.
shouldn't have given up the bishop. If he had just saved his bishop, I think he could have gotten the win on time there. 2.8 seconds is what our Greek wannabe champion had left. That was very close call that Kainanen was able to break with a black game.
Yeah, great win there by Vasquez. I mean, he was low on time, but he managed to build up an attack and was just in time to finish things off. And you see how difficult it is when you get low on time in 3-check. Because in normal chess, you just pre-move, forget about what's happening on the board. But in 3-check, if all of a sudden that third check is given, it's game over.
And new opening here. But I'm not sure who did something different than normal. I'm thinking it was actually black who deviated from the most normal style of play.
Yeah, he played an early a6 to stop that idea of knight b5 and e5, giving an early check. And here, it's really funny. We have normal time of theory. Can you castle? I mean, you really invite 1, 2. It's probably too dangerous. Like knight h2 to follow. I don't think you want to entertain that idea.
I was going to say I had this position myself in a standard time control game of normal chess. But let's see how it works out in the 3 checks variant.
Queen d4, setting up e5. I think he's trying to provoke e5 from black, as then you don't have to worry about this move anymore. So I like c5 by Vasquez, keeping his queen on this diagonal, because that always gives you possibilities for tactics.
Not entirely clear what white is doing now either when you lose the opportunity to push your pawn forward in the center.
b8, tricky move hitting the pawn. Wait, he just gives it up. Can we take that?
Feels unnecessary to me, which in turn means that the previous move was also unnecessary.
Right.
Pawn f4 now from white. Surely very, very good.
And
And he's going
Toivo
to
agrees.
castle next. Pawn to c4, pretty much a must.
Nice move. Queen d4.
And
Yep.
now rook
Just
takes pawn. The rook is actually creating some trouble, it must be said.
it really is. Yeah, takes and then castles. What is the
And then bishop c5.
and go into that? But I quite like White's chances in that endgame. Maybe a quick rook b1 to b8, and White's having the attacking chances, and that's what it's all about in three check.
Yeah,
Takes
but I still
castle.
think that's how it has to go. I'm feeling the three checks right now. I'm feeling like every move. I'm spotting it. I'm warmed up. I am deluded enough to think that if I was kind of like in the three checks mode, I could qualify alongside these guys. But
Yeah,
that
no,
is
I think you could, right? We're really warmed up. We're spotting the moves that the players make. By the way, if White castles, what about bishop b4? Simply hitting the knight, you cannot move it as that hangs the bishop.
yeah, okay. Apparently I was not in
We're
the
getting in
zone.
shape here.
Yeah. That was way better than my suggestion. And I made fun of this black rook, and now it's going to potentially decide the grand final.
Wait, but what if we just take that? Yeah, well, wait, what's going on? I think Vasquez has this one, and that would be huge. He would take a 2-0 lead, and he would only be one win away from winning the match. But Teufel also has no time.
Nothing is working out for white in this game. I
Vasquez,
cannot find anything positive to say about this situation.
he's got no time. He's down a piece on the board. Vasquez in great. I mean, that's one check, but that I don't think you get the other checks in here.
I mean, I do think there are going to be other checks, but not in your favor.
Oh, but look at this. He's looking at rook takes c3, take, and then rook takes f7, which I think wins because you will get the second check and the third check. So that is what Vasquez has to avoid. And by the way, there's also rook takes d5 and rook e5. So
But
I
he can
like
go
this
g6 and
approach.
castle, right?
Oh yeah, that's pretty safe. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting too good at this. Yeah, yep, g6. Oh, and that's why. Wait, but check.
It's a free check, but he needed to prevent the black king from escaping.
d4 here makes sense to me, playing it safe. But then rook b1. Rook b1
Yeah.
has to be played. Yeah, we're guessing all the moves now. 13 seconds though for Toivo.
I think Toivo is winning, but I'm not sure he has time. Ooh, that's a good move.
It was just about a point. Yeah, bishop a7 stop. Okay, c3, keeping the door closed. Oh,
Okay, I take back what I said. I do not believe Toivo is winning. That bishop retreat was.
Toivo, by the way, has
crucial.
6 seconds. 18 for Vasquez, though. This is not over. c2. Take, and... Oh, it's time scramble now.
He's
I think
actually
Toivo
gonna
is a
do
better
it.
bullet player. I think Toivo... Yeah, I think so.
He's gonna do
He's gotta
it.
move. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. He's just faster.
Incredible.
King G1.
Finishing
Wow,
off
what
the
a
game
game.
with just the pre-moves with the king.
Yep.
Wow. What a comeback.
Yeah, what a comeback indeed. Vasquez had that one winning, but Toivo, so resourceful. He found a way to make inroads, to create some problems, to make Vasquez think, and he manages off to pull off a massive win. I mean, if he would have been down 2-0, I would not have seen him coming back, but now it's anyone's match.
I like this. He's improving on his game by going with the bishop first.
Yep. The point behind bishop d7 is to stop knight e5, as then you can take, and there would not have been a queen a4 check. So that was the
It's
point.
basically just building a fortress around your king, right?
Yes, yep. Making sure that that king cannot be checked, because if the black king will be checked once more, I think black is simply going to lose, because white will somehow be able to get that third check in.
I'm very unimpressed by that knight moving forward, and I'm equally unimpressed by the fact that Kainanen did not capture in the center. I feel like capturing the knight would have been a good timing there.
Hmm. Yeah, but perhaps he just wants to do so on the next move.
Yeah, but maybe the guy prevents you.
But at least this looks very playable for black, right? I mean, he's down a check, but up a pawn, pretty solid position in the center. So at least it's playable. But it is annoying. It is annoying to be down that one check and then constantly having to worry about the second check coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. And we've seen his ability to win the time scrambles, right? So it's really just about surviving the next minute and a half.
Yeah, I think Toivo is the better bullet player. He's a little bit faster, a little bit more resourceful. So if he can get this down to time trouble, he definitely has his chances. But for now, he's down 20 seconds on the clock.
Both the games we had so far, Black had really good chances, but ended up losing in the end.
Right, so this is an invitation to give white the second check, but it's probably too much, as I don't see how you're getting the third check to the black king. But Vasquez must be looking at it. It is a possibility.
You could also just make the trade and then maybe Queen E2. The black king is never getting away, right? Because the white bishop is pointing down right through the king's king's kind of, well, I was gonna say safety, but yeah, no, that dark squared bishop is just devastating long term.
Right,
But
I guess he wants to
Kainanen
go
is gonna chase
g5.
it back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so important. Oh, Vasquez taking a little bit too much time here, to be honest. I mean, he's dropping down quite significantly on the clock. He decides to castle. I think now g5. Can white auto? Okay, can he do this here? Here. He says no.
Ooh, but now the black pawns are just gonna come rushing forward.
b3, trying to blast things open. g4, h4.
He's gonna give up his bishop, I think, just to try and get his rook pointed down at the black king. But that's very much um, desperate times for white.
Well, but if you get that attack going, it looks really dangerous for black because white's only two checks away. Keep in mind if that queen appears on b3, you're threatening to win the game. So you think b takes c4 here, yeah? Bishop, I mean, this also looks fine. h4? I think you just have to go. You just have to go for it.
I feel like he could have just given the bishop.
Okay. I like Toivo's chances here. I mean, take, rook takes h2, just... You're getting a lot of checks there.
Yeah, I don't like Vasquez not sacrificing his bishop because if he had given up the bishop on the edge of the board, he would have the black pawn would kind of stand in the way of its own rooks.
To me, this looks too slow in 3-check. It's all about the initiative. Okay, so b takes c4, that's more like it. If you sacrifice the knight, I think queen b3, right? Threatening
Yeah,
this.
no, but that was also very poor by Kainanen, right? He didn't have time to start attacking the white knight. There were more pressing matters.
Okay, knight takes c3, tricky move. I mean, if you go to b3, you allow knight e2, knight takes g3, that's probably too much. So you cannot go
Maybe the
easily
check anyway, right?
Because queen c2, hitting the knight. Okay, knight e2 gets that check, and okay, take. Okay, he's... Okay, take. Okay, both sides have two checks. Needed to win. I think you just take the knight. But then queen
Agreed.
b2, queen b2. Black, by the way, would love to do this. He
Yeah,
gets done more than he's winning. Queen b2, I think queen b4 needs to be played. You cannot allow this. That would win the game on the spot. Queen b4. But 10 seconds. Bishop e8. What? Now Vasquez. Is there... He's got to move. Bishop... that's too passive.
no, well, I
So,
mean, but it's preventing the obvious move, right? Ooh, I'm not sure I
oh,
like opening up through the center.
but he's gonna... Rook
Yeah, it's
c1.
over.
Again, Toivo takes it in a time scramble as he takes a 2-1 lead, and now he only needs a draw with the white pieces to force a reset.
Such a close match and such an impressive way of winning with the black pieces against a player who, may I remind you, has only lost to Kainanen in this entire tournament. He 3-0'd two other opponents, and then he beat Kainanen 3-2 in the winner bracket final. Kainanen is the only guy who's got this Greek's number, but now maybe so much so that the tournament win might slip here in the
Yeah,
end.
let's see. We see Vasca switching it up with an early queen b6, and now he sacrificed the pawn. By the way, these arrows are from Toivo pointing out some moves. I wonder why the pawn was not taken, but I guess like knight e4, knight g5 are typical ideas. So let's see. By the way, Vasca's playing this quickly. Could this be his preparation, perhaps?
Yeah,
Ooh,
no,
look at that.
95. That's a nice move.
Ooh,
I
if you take
It's
check,
over. It's over.
is that over?
Well, you have to take the knight, but if you take it, then check, check, check. It's over. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but that's too much, giving up the queen. And he did not even get a check for it. No, this has to be winning for Toivo. He's up a full
Huge
queen here.
win in the opening, taking Kainanen to a 3-1 here in the grand final, forcing the reset. I refuse to believe that the ability we've seen so far from the Finn is gonna leave any chance for Black to survive down a queen.
I think so too. I think there's no chance here. I mean, he's contemplating knight takes d4 in a normal game. You play that without thought, but in three check, you think like, hey, there might be this one, and then rook a5. Don't count out Vasquez just yet. I think, I think maybe you just sack. If white goes bishop g3, they're safe. So maybe you just sack to get that one check in, and then hope for a miracle later on.
Yeah, because I mean we're still in the miracle territory here. Down a queen, having no checks already. But anything you can do to make the opponent a bit nervy.
Hmm. Especially if this king has a one on it, right? If you're only one check away, your opponent really starts sweating, and then they really might start taking too much time.
Speaking of taking too much time,
I think you got to do this. Just throw in the check and hope for a miracle. Because otherwise, you have absolutely nothing. At least then you have a check to show for the fact that you're down a queen. And he goes for it. Knight takes. Yep. And now.
you have no follow up.
I mean, knight e5 and throw in another check, but it's too much. Maybe that's just rook g8. Wow. He's discouraging this.
Preparing maybe then rook h5.
This is tough for Vasquez, who's also down on time. g5 played, bishop g3 probably. Yep. I don't see how you're getting to that white king. I don't see it. g4, okay, he's trying.
Yeah, but you lost all dark squared control and now the white dark squared bishop. Terrible attacking piece, but fantastic defender.
Yep. And Toivo, by the way, with the white arrows, was pointing out that he was aiming to sacrifice on e6. That would give him a lot of checks. Now, I think Toivo has this one in the back. He's also up on time. Black is 2 checks away from winning, but that is too much.
And he cannot move his knight because of those sacrifices Toivo was pointing out.
Rook takes d4. Looks very tempting. And there he goes. Rook g5. Rook takes g4. Yeah, this is going to be one for Toivo.
I'm impressed by the fact that he's really taking his time, even in seemingly obvious decisions. And I think this is just part of these players in this variant. You blunder check everything.
Right.
You never want to make a move without thinking for more than a second because you just gotta, what are the consequences for my king?
Yeah. Okay, that's going to be a check, check, and Toivo takes the match to a reset. Wow, I did not expect that, Jonas. When Vasquez won that first game, was winning the second game, but Toivo managed to strike back.
And now going into the reset, with Kazium is needing to lose two matches to get knocked out of the tournament. So he hasn't lost the final yet. He does get a second chance, but the psychology right now so much in Kainan's favor.
Yeah, so we'll see if they will switch it up. I mean, this was just a disaster for Vasquez right out of the opening, and it seems like Toivo is holding his own right with the black pieces. It feels like the positions he's getting are pretty manageable.
Yeah, both games where Kainanen had the black pieces, he was in it. And it was decided only in the time scramble. To be fair, the second game, the first one where Kainanen had the white pieces, he was in big trouble. Like we were impressed when he somehow managed to get out of that alive. It could have easily been 2-0 in his deficit. Now suddenly it's 3-1 and we get another match with him having won 3 in a row.
Yep, and we are off to the reset. So we see this opening once again. Let's see. So 96. Okay, so Toivo has been playing c4, c3, and bishop d7 here. That seemed pretty acceptable.
Yeah, I was liking it, and it worked out well for him in the previous one.
All
There's some
right.
comfort in knowing that your opponent hasn't managed to figure out anything much better.
Right. Okay, so 94, 95. Let's see. In
I
the
still
previous match, he
maintain,
played g6. Or did he?
yeah, he once again he's going for this castling because it worked the last time round, but we weren't huge fans of it, were we?
No, it seems kind of tricky. Yeah, but difficult for White to really make inroads. Can we? Okay, he takes. Bishop takes has to be played. I think this is too much, even though it is a second check. Can you go queen g4,
Well, I
threatening to
still
win the
want
game?
the I wanted to sacrifice my bishop, remember?
The queen
Oh no,
takes,
but
and then
that was
what?
without the trade of knights.
Hmm.
Yeah, the trade of knights has really shored up the defenses in front of the black king. There's no more obvious like the white rook trying to sacrifice itself to force black's king into the open. I think Vasquez has, if anything, made this even worse for himself.
Right. I mean, where is he going now with the bishop? It simply got itself trapped.
Well, I
Queen
assume he
g4,
wanted to
maybe, but
sacrifice with queen g4, but
this does not look good. Toivo can take now, and I think his king is reasonably safe here, at least for the
is
moment.
it is it though?
I think. Auto take. Let's say you take on e5. White takes here, and White's gonna follow up with a quick queen b3. Oh, he
Yeah,
wow.
but then you go king b8. So he needs to sacrifice the bishop before the king escapes. But
Okay, this
now
is
you have knight takes pawn, right?
yeah. That looks like a good move. Taking an important pawn, threatening a check. This it seems like Vasquez might have rushed his checks here because it's difficult to make it to that black king. This is definitely the critical move now. I think you play it, right? Why not? What is White gonna do?
For sure you play it, right?
Yeah, because a move like queen b3 is out of the question. Black gets a check and then a second
Another
check,
check.
winning the queen. That's just game over.
I don't understand the hesitation.
But maybe like queen d2?
There's some ideas where, yeah, you put the rook on the. So, yeah, it's difficult to do this analysis without just moving the pieces, but then the players are going to come in with their moves, and it's all wow.
Okay, he takes. Okay, so queen b1. I think he's aiming to go b5. I think that's a must.
I mean, if this works, that is an impressive show of restraint on Black's part.
But then, like, what if you? Okay, he goes rook b1. Is I think he wants to do this. Bishop takes queen a4. At the very least, looks really dangerous. Can Black take? Is the big question.
What
That's
about
the
Queen H3?
Queen g4. GG.
Oh, never mind. I did not say
Wait,
that.
I think if takes rook b6, and I think you're losing because good luck stopping
Nice.
this.
So he has to
Maybe
go
b
B5, but then
right,
Queen A4.
but then queen a4, yeah, which is
It's over.
GG because I think Faskas has this.
So
Yeah.
when I said impressive show of restraint, what I really meant was terrible move.
He wants to go rook c7.
I mean, I'm
Rook
impressed
c7.
he even
Okay.
identified what the trick was.
Oh, is there d5? D5 looks like a knight. Oh wow, look at that. Now here's the thing. I think in three check, if your opponent has two checks, it's just too difficult to stop the third check in the long run.
I don't think that's giving enough credit for from this play from White. That was fantastic.
Yeah, great stuff by Vasquez. He
I've
gave
been
a
down
bishop,
to, yeah.
but he believed in his position to get the third check in.
I mean, I'm positive he was losing there, but he was so resourceful. I've had my opponent only needing one check many times previously. Let me tell you, no one has put on a display like the one we saw here from Vasilius.
Wait, so what is he planning to do here in case of 94? Right, that's the typical move, threatening 96.
Maybe just D5 and it transposes.
Yeah, knight f6. Wow.
Ooh.
But I think this position is very playable for black. I mean, you get a massive center if you follow with d5. You get the half open g file, which is useful in case white castles. I quite like this for Vasquez.
I mean, yeah. I mean, was there any doubt? The guy just sacrificed his knight like a king. Of course, we're thinking he's a genius. We're not going to default to him being silly for giving away the knight. Oh, he
e4
gives a
by
check! Oh, but I guess it's not that clear because you also leave the defense of your king. I
right.
mean, at the level I play, people do this because they didn't see the check. So I have this reaction. But at this level in the grand final, of course they see that there's a check. They just think that, oh, misplacing the queen is such a bad idea that, wow.
Yeah, I mean, these are really three check grandmasters, so they probably haven't figured out that queen a5 check might just be losing too much time in case white goes bishop d2. I think one check is fine to allow, and a second check from black would require them to give up their queen. And the queen, as we saw in the previous game, is such an important checking piece that I don't think you can give that up.
Oh,
Can
but
we do
now he
this?
can do it later.
Okay, take, and now bishop g5, okay.
I think he had to give up the knight there simply to avoid the queen checks. I'm not sure he did that because he thought it was good. I think he did it because he felt he had no choice.
Okay, bishop d3. I think in case of c4, white's just gonna castle. We see h6, okay.
H6 is such a good move. The bishop cannot move because then you capture in the center, threatening the bishop check. And if white castles, then you sack your queen.
Right. Black is down a check, though. Black is down a check. That needs to be taken into consideration. I think maybe you can. Okay, bishop h4. Is this too much? Probably, yeah. So you said if takes. No, wait, but yeah, you cannot castle because there's one and then two. That's
Yeah.
GG. And this is a massive threat.
So you have to
So what do you
go
do here?
a3 or something.
Oh, king of one, by the way, loses the game. 1-2. Right, but a3, I mean, then maybe you take. In case of rook g1, you get one, and there's two. I think that's too much. Let me like if in case you go a3, I think black takes rook g1. I think check. I
What's the
think then
alternative? King e2? I said
maybe.
that as a joke. Don't put that on the board.
I c3 played. Okay, but take.
I mean, castles is still losing.
Yeah,
So
castles is
c3
not a move.
doesn't do anything.
I think Voskas is winning here. I mean, he's making inroads with his
I mean,
pieces. This king is stuck. You're gonna have
and
to allow quite a few checks here.
Kainanen is down to 30 seconds also. It's over.
I think Voskas has this one. I mean, big advantage on the clock and on the board.
A3 would have been a much better attempt than this bull. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that.
Okay, but you're not. He's not gonna make it with 9 seconds on the clock.
Yeah,
Take.
no,
I
that's what I'm
mean,
saying. So why he might as well have played the move I suggested that you said was the dumbest thing you've ever seen. Well, I mean, you didn't say that, but it was kind of implied. I love this opening from Black, and what a way to take a 2-0 lead here in the reset.
right. Good. Yeah. Toivo, he is fast, but I think this is too much. Bishop c5, threatening this,
I mean,
and
he is also down 2 rooks, Benjamin.
4 seconds. Down to 4 seconds. Check. GG. Take. All right, nice win by Vasquez, taking a 2-0 lead. He only needs one more draw, and we've seen draws happen before.
He's going to have a match ball here with the white pieces in the next one. Kainanen, an
Oh,
absolute must win. But Kainanen has been creating chances for himself in these black openings. He deviates now, though, Benjamin.
right. Bishop d7. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the line is some. There is a line that goes like bishop d3, c4, and then you castle, take rook e1. I think that is a line.
Okay,
And I
so
think Vasquez is going for it.
before the broadcast, you were telling me, yeah, that you studied some theory, but you were underselling it.
Yeah, this is a line. Like white sacrifices a piece, but I think it's good for white. Queen takes, and black is. It's tough for black to make it out of this. I think you take with the queen.
Why? Black is up a piece and can just castle queenside.
Wait, but what do you do now? If you allow
Oh,
knight
and
takes f7,
that move you were not suggesting. So I had not considered that. I thought I was about to get my king to safety.
all right. So what now?
Good defense. White cannot capture the pawn on the right hand side because that's just going to open up an attack against the white king.
Yeah, and I think in that case, Toivo just castles, right, to avoid any further checks.
Maybe I would say going back with the rook and start the counter threats would also look good.
Okay, so Vasquez takes. I think now you just castle, and I don't see how white is c4 maybe. I like c4.
It's very
Take.
nonchalant to just give up a whole piece like this.
But he's up a check, right?
Yeah, but I didn't think checks mattered that much. Pawn f6 now, surely.
But no, but c5.
See if I care.
And then I think we take. All right, I think c5 is going to be played. Queen back, and then takes here. Takes. And that should be good for white. It goes back. What?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you that he definitely should have pushed forward, but now that we did manage to force white back, I'm fairly optimistic on black's behalf.
Yeah, I don't agree with Vasquez's decision there. To me, c5 looked good, but okay. Let's see what's going to happen. He's still up a check. He definitely has that in his back pocket. I'm sure he's looking to move the bishop, followed by rook c1. We're calling all the
Pawn
moves here.
e4 here.
Yeah. Can
Forces a
we...
queen trade, potentially.
Rook c1 is too much, yeah? It's too much, I think. I don't think... Okay. Wait, bishop 5. Oh, he's got here.
Apparently, we
No, rook
did not
c7.
force a queen trade, which is very bad news. Great spot there with the rook. Well, it's a rook and queen sacrifice.
Yeah. All right, rook takes c7 is a massive threat. And by the way, rook c1 also is a massive threat. I think if you get that second check in, you're not going to be able to stop the third check in the long term.
I kind of in here just assumed that he would be able to point his bishop against white's rook and queen, but thinking that the rook couldn't move, but in fact the rook will sacrifice itself in that case. And wow, he has to allow the second check.
Wait, but what does he do in case it takes? If you take with the bishop, I think we take followed by queen f5. That looks like GG. So you have to take with the queen and then d5? How do you stop this? I think you don't. d5 looks winning to me. And there we have it. Right.
And this is the final game of this grand final. We're about to have a new 3 checks champion hailing from Greece. Losing the grand final just to make it a little bit exciting for us. He takes down Kainanen a second time. And I need to learn to pronounce Greek last names. But for now, we will call him Vasquez. And we will congratulate him on this momentous win.
Yeah, fantastic game here in the last round. I mean, he sacrificed the piece, but he realized that his long-term initiative and the extra check should give him the advantage, and it brought him the win.
Fantastic display. We will have a winner's interview, but first, we're going to have a little break. This is the Chess.com 3 Checks Championship, and we have a new winner. Congratulations to Vasilios Kasiumis. You finished second last year. This year, first place. What did you do differently?
Well, I don't actually know. I didn't do much differently. I think the last time I over prepared and I was very tired. Now I didn't prepare that much because also I played in 2023, 2024, so I had already memorized many lines, and thus I didn't need to do much. Just figure out some new ideas to play. Like in the last game, this knight f6, this sack was one of my ideas. And yeah, with white, I just wanted to be able to convert the advantage, and I managed to do it. Not in all games. I lost one match against Toivok. He played very well, and yes.
Hmm. And we were wondering, Vasilios, so you got yourself the spot in the grand final and you had to wait for someone else to come through. You might have thought it would be Toivo as he played really well throughout the event. But did you do anything while you were waiting for your opponent to come through? Did you do any preparation or you just relaxed? What was your
Well,
approach?
I did some preparation. Not much. I just checked my previous games how they went, and that's pretty much it. Nothing more.
In case of a replay, a 2-2 finish, you were in a position where, as the first seed, you would always get the white pieces in that overtime because you won the very first qualifier. Was that a strategy you had coming into this championship?
Um, well, I knew it from the last year that this was the case. I found it a bit odd. I thought it would be first two games and then the player who makes 1.5 or two should advance. But since I knew that information, I tried to get the first arena because it gives you a huge advantage having white pieces because white is winning in three check.
So essentially, what you're saying to my question is, yes, you did it on purpose, and it was part of your
Well,
strategy.
I mean, it was also the time was also quite. It was 4 o'clock in Greece, so it kind of suited. Also, it wasn't like very in the evening or very early in the morning, so it was quite suitable for me to play the arena. So even if it wasn't, I would have played the arena, the first one.
Okay, nice. And we also have some chat questions. We have chess players 87788 asking, do you feel more anxiety when you're down a check or down on time in general?
Hmm. Well, it depends on the position. Most of the time, when you're down a check and you think you know that you have a winning position, you don't get so much alarmed. But getting down on time, it's a different story. Like you need to be more precise, and it can definitely get much harder. So probably getting low on time.
And congratulations so much on this big win. I think based on your answers, it's quite clear that you've been studying your openings. You said that you had some specific ideas that you wanted, and this idea you said that you had in the final, with the knight sacrificing itself. Did you save it? Did you purposefully not play it in any of the earlier matches because you wanted kind of your best stuff for the final?
Well, I could have played it, but I saw in the games, for example, against Joseph, I saw that Stefan played the line. I mean, Matvey played the line with knight f6 and bishop before, and his approach was, in my opinion, not very correct, and thus that's why I opted for that line because I thought I could put pressure there.
So you chose a different line previously in the championship and then saved this, or just because you thought it fit better?
Because I knew that that his moves were not accurate and the position was tricky enough that I could have good chances with black.
Okay, I think we're getting some insight into how much work you put down, and it was rewarded. Our champion 2026, 3 checks. It's Vasilius Kasiumis. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And that is the end of this year's championship. We have our winner, but we will be back next year, and as do I suspect Vasilius will be. I've been Jon Ludwig Hammer. I've been joined by Benjamin Bock. And any final words, Benjamin, before we call it a day?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun hosting this championship with you, Jon Ludwig. I think we definitely are looking at a deserved winner. Vasilius just played great chess throughout. And I'm already looking forward towards next year's championship and the next community event.
Which I'm sure I should know what the next month's event is, but you have me stumped here. Are you going to help me out or leave me hanging?
I think it's Fog of War, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm being told on my ear that it's atomic chess. So looking forward to that. It is by far my least favorite variant, but the only thing you can deduce from that is that I suck at it. So until the next time, goodbye everyone, and congratulations, our champ, Vasilius Kasiumas.